Well, good evening, racing fans. Welcome to harness racing action from Grand River Raceway for this Wednesday evening. Our first dash will go to post in approximately 20 minutes. Beautiful night here in Elora, Ontario, Centre Wellington nonetheless, and we have a good card of racing lined up for you. Note the track condition listed as fast, and of course the announcer listed as slow. Let's get a look at the changes on this evening's card of racing. You note in race 1, number 7, Charmbo Gem, side rolls to blind bridle, side rolls to blind bridle. And steel to aluminum shoes behind, steel to aluminum shoes behind. Race number 2, no changes. No changes. Race number 2. In race number 3, number 6, Big Honor, Brett McDonald. He is going to drive race 3. Number 6, Big Honor, Brett McDonald. Races 4, 5, and 6, no changes. No changes. Races 4, 5, or 6. In race number 7, scratched is 3, Whizzer Wally, and 5, Image Venti, scratch 3 and 5. In race number 8, number 2, Timel Twister, blind bridle to blinkers, blind to blinkers. In race 9, scratch 1, Harper's Hat Trick, and 2, Brydown Royal Art. Race 9, scratch 1 and 2. And race number 10, no changes, no changes. Race number 10. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Race 1, 7, Charmbo Gem. Side rolls to blind bridle, steel to aluminum shoes behind. And in race number 2, there were no changes. It's 16 minutes to post time to welcome in our co-host and handicapping expert, and I can hear you just chomping at the bit. You've been off a few days. How are things over there in Margaritaville, the big palace? And man, you had some time off. Did you have some fun, buddy?
Oh, definitely did. Hope everyone had a fantastic long weekend, Labor Day long weekend. We went to the CNE. We took in a bunch of harness racing action, as well as we always do at the castle in Margaritaville. Just had a great weekend. Hope everyone else did as well. And we were dark Monday night, so certainly missed racing action here at the river that night. But we're going to make up for it tonight with a real nice card of 10 dashes, 5 on the pace, 5 on the trot, well balanced throughout. And I got 3 plays of the night. I'm fond of each of them. Races 3, 6, and 8. We'll get to those later. But in case you missed it, earlier today, Salzburg Victor in a qualifier over this 5/8 of a mile surface. And we keep talking about how fast it is. Well, 49 and 1 for Salzburg Victor in a qualifier here at Grand River today, which of course is faster than our track record set by Ideal Perception. I think it was 50 and 4 in the middle of June. Yes, it was. But since the qualifier, that won't stand as a track record. But he was even just a tick off his lifetime mark as well in that qualifier. He won by more than 40 lengths, just smoking around this track. And like we said all along, it is a very fast surface, and we will see likely many more miles like that here at the river, and we're looking forward to it. But good luck to Salzburg Victor. He'll likely be taking on the preferred company at Mohawk Park. Should be tuned up nicely for that start. Off that qualifying effort. But tonight, again, 10 dashes, real nice card from top to bottom. It always kicks off with that early pick 5 starting in race number 1, low takeout, 15% guaranteed pool, $5,000. We'll come back in about 8 minutes to post to give you what we like in that sequence. just under 10 minutes to post for the opening dash of 10 here at Grand River Raceway on a wonderful Wednesday. And at this time, or around this time, we always like to take a look at that early pick five wager. One of my favorite wagers here at the River. Low takeout, 15% guaranteed pool, $5,000. Myself, Gary, and Conley. We will always give you our suggested tickets for the sequence, and you can feel free to add and subtract as you see fit. We'll get a look at my ticket. And $12.80. You know what? I don't have a single, which I don't like doing here, and we're doing a lot of 2x2x2 in this ticket this evening. But I just thought there was kind of logical ones in some races, and then some ones that might offer some better value. So that's the way we've mapped it out tonight. Again, not the way I usually like to do it. I like to have it better when we have a single or two and we can spread for looking for some real big prices. But there it is. 5 and 8 here. That's Willie Strike and Hit the Bank. Willie Strike, I give the edge to that one. Scott Coulter aboard this evening, and thinking this one can maybe show a little more, maybe get off the gate better. Love the way this horse actually racing his left-hand debut earlier in the year at Western Fair. I think all the way on the engine on that occasion, thinking that might be the recipe for a victory this evening in the opening dash. But 5 and 8 for me in the opening leg. And then 1 and 4 in race 2, Bobby Bonebreaker, Rail Control. Been fond of this horse. Now, he hasn't raced since August 13th. But I've really liked what he's done so far. 5 on the board finishes in 5 tries. Bozak, though, getting to that softer competition last time. Now transitioning to the Prospect Series. He took on Grassroots Company in several of his starts so far in his career. So he certainly figures. I got it down to those two, the 1 and 4 in race number 2. Race 3, the 4 and 8. The 4 is Smart Thinking. Now, he's one that I think you have to respect, but the horse I really like is the 8 DM Snake Plissken. I thought last time if he got it a little bit sooner, he may have been a winner in a race won by Keystone Doral, and that winner was a heavy favorite and raced tremendous in victory. But this one was flying late for third. And again, I think if he just gets room sooner, when he was trying to fish some room on the backside, he would have definitely been right there at the wire. Love his chances tonight, but hate the post 8. Going to be tricky, but he's one that likes to come from out of it. So any pace to chase, I think he's going to be one to certainly watch in that race number 3. 1, 4, 5, and 9 in race number 4 deep in a trotting event that I think looks kind of wide open. Maybe we get a price down in that one. Money leg, race number 5, just 2 of them. The 3, It Don't Matter to Me, who it doesn't say made a break last time, but boy, did she ever come close to going on the gallop. I've never seen a horse reset so quick in my life. I thought she was going to be off the ticket. She went from being off the ticket to winning the race as a heavy favorite. But I do like She Trots a lot. She's done nothing wrong as of late, especially for Scott Young. Got to have both them in the 5th race of the sequence. 3 to 7 for me, $12.80 for a 20-cent ticket. Let's see what Gary Guy has in store for us tonight.
Well, Rob, I spent my same $9.60 and my same structure, too, of 4 2s and then a 3. We're kind of similar in a lot of ways in how we've structured the ticket. But I have an extra one. I have the 4 Ultra Miles also. First start Shane Arsenault along with the 5 and 8. Do like Willie Strike on top. And then in the second race, we both have the 1 and 4. You have Bozak as your top one, but regardless, we both have 1 and 4. Bobby Bonebreaker and Bozak. Race 3, yeah, we both love DM Snake Plissken. I can still hear you chiming about how much you love that stretch drive and the way he raced. And yeah, post 8, but I just think he's the one in there. But I have Wizard of Bots and you have Smart Thinking. I think either one is the one to use under DM Snake Plissken, so we each took one of them. In race number 4, I only have Orly's Shadow and Abby Cadabra, and you have Abby Cadabra along with 3 others. You don't like Orly's Shadow, which kind of surprises me. That's my top pick in there. Now look at Orly's Shadow last race. Yeah, it didn't go well. Post 8 got parked every step of the way, but we also saw what he did here from Post 8, August the 7th, and just crushing. Now, that was a maiden class, but still, man, I'm impressed with Orly's Shadow. We'll see how that pans out. And the 5th race, we both see it the same way. She trots a lot, and It Don't Matter to Me. In fact, I did call that a break when announcing. Now, look, it's a fine line because it's pretty close either way, but I thought it was a break. But regardless, the 7 and the 3 in the 5th race.
There you go. So very similar. 8 combinations where we can both be winners. Now, I do like the 2 horses that he's added to his ticket. Gary's got the one Wizard of Oz in race number 3. Interestingly enough, we like ones that kind of go on the engine, open their lungs up, then come back. Next time around, same class. So that one's intriguing to me now. Maybe have to use that one. And Orly Shadow in race 4, since I'm already 4 deep, Gary may have convinced me to maybe go 5 deep in there, because Orly Shadow was very, very nice in victory August the 7th. And last time just got a really tough trip. So don't mind those 2 additions to his ticket at all. Look at Conley's ticket now, see what he's got in store for us. Sometimes he likes to spend a little more, $19.20. So a little more than myself. And Gary's got the most economical ticket tonight, as he usually does. 3, 5, 6, and 8 here in the opening leg. And I don't mind going deep. Nominers a 1, trotters, we can see some funny things happen, and there could be a price come home. Race 2, the 1 and 4, we're on the same page there. Third race, he's singling the 4 Smart Thinking, and I don't mind that at all, because dominant winner 2 starts ago, and I thought that was a very impressive performance by Smart Thinking in that occasion. I just love DM Snake Pilson, so he's got to be on my ticket. 3, 5, 7, and 9 in race number 4. On the same page for 2 of those, and then we've got 2 that are the same, 2 that are different, and then race 5, the 2, 5, and 7. So he's got Cheat Trots a lot, who I'm fond of. He's added in Intuitive, who actually is a Robert Off angle, as well as the 5 Devil's Kiss. I've got the 3. It don't matter to me. Gary and I both went 3, 7 in that one. So some similarities for myself, Conley, and Gary throughout the sequence. $19.20 if you want to play Conley's ticket for a 20-cent wager. We get 4 minutes or so till be coming out onto the track for the opening dash. Want to map out those winning wagers for this early pick 5 guaranteed pool. $5,000 low takeout, 15%. We'll come back after the post race, take a closer look at the first race of the night.
Field on post parade for race number 1. One is Massive Tattoo, Bruce Richardson for John Holding and Morley Bosworth. And number 2 is Fly Higher, Dag Henryson for Mike Rivet and Gary Silifant. Number 3 is Gaelic Piper, Jason Ryan for John Yake and Jordan McGrail and Deborah McGrail and Bethany Craig. Number 4 is Ultra Miles, Brent Matano for Shane Arsenault. And number 5 is Willie Strike, Scott Calder for Bill Meegans. Number 6, Hobnob, Hanover Pat Houdon for Pinsky Stables and David House. And number 7, Charmbeau Gem, Tom Smith for Jane Walker and John Ryer and Randy Ryer. And number 8 is Hit the Bank, Travis Henry for Gerard Demers and Jeremy Roy and Jim Tropey. Field of 8, race 1. Let's look at this field. We'll start with number 5, Willie Strike. And now Scott Calder taking over for Bill Meegans driving. And Willie Strike, well, that is the question. Willie Strike.
Yeah, it is. It sure is the question, right? And right now, you're seeing this one take a lot of support in the odds board, and I expected that. 7-5 on the board right now. I think it looks really good on the track. And this is one that won his lifetime debut at 5-1 in a similar class at the Raceway at Western Fair back in March, and did so on the engine. Hasn't been able to find that winning touch again. Hit the board in 3 of 11 tries, Gary. But I just think that you get Scott Coulter aboard this time around. We might see this one go forward off the gate again, and he might be able to control things throughout. It's just obviously it's tough to kind of take a stand on one in a class like this, right? Maiden Trotters, but I think that he's the most probable winner of this race.
Yeah, and also that was a prospect series that he raced in here last time out, and mile of 58 and 2 compares very nicely with this field. In fact, there's only a couple that have quicker last race miles, and one is a Mohawk mile, so really wouldn't call that quicker, and the other one's Philadelphia. So really, if you're looking at comparing them, we might be as quick as that Philadelphia track. I'm not sure, but we're obviously not as quick as Mohawk.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Yeah, for me, you always know I kind of throw time out the window, especially in following trips, right? But I agree with you, has shown speed that might be too much for these.
Okay. Listen, when you end up doing time, I'll come visit you. How about number 8, Hit the Bank? I mentioned 58 and 1 at Mohawk last time out. 19 starts without a win, but you do see a close second, August the 3rd, up at Georgian.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the line you've got to look at and say, okay, this one's got a chance in here. The problem is she's got post 8, right? And we know that the post 8 isn't what it used to be, but it's still a difficult spot to lead from. That was first time Lasix that occasion, went a long way in the lead from the pole position. Didn't race too badly at all. Ended up finishing second as the favorite. Then since then, a fourth after a miscue over that surface, Georgian Downs, and then obviously took on much tougher at Mohawk Park again and finished 7th. So I thought this one might be a bit of a value player. I don't think 7-2 is really getting much value. I would use this one in the pick 5 going forward, but I wouldn't bet her flat at that price. I'd be looking for more like the morning line price is 6-1 or higher.
And also, if you look at that 202 mile at Georgian Downs, don't be too discouraged by the time there. That track was not fast back then. Look at some of the horses. That's a comparable maiden class. Just that's how fast that track was that day. Number 6, Hobnob Hanover. Oh, you're hobnobbing, putting your buddy Pat Houdon into the top 3.
Yeah, we got to put Pat in the top 3 here. This is one that he takes over the training and driving of, and has been taking on decent competition south of the border. No doubt about that. If you look at the foes that she's been facing, solid company. Now she's a 2-year-old filly taking on older in here and male competition as well. I thought she's made a decent pre-race appearance though, and I think she fits in nicely with this group. So 4-1, not a bad price at all on a horse that I think if she's not ready to beat this class today, she'll likely be able to rack up a victory against these types very soon.
I thought Gaelic Piper can hit the ticket, but I'll tell you, after 0 for 25, I'm not using the Gaelic Piper on top, but on the ticket.
Yeah, that's the big thing for me too, right? We've seen this one with opportunities to win and just hasn't been able to do it. Now, 0 for 10 last year with no on the board finishes. This year, he's got 9 top 3 finishes from 15 starts. Now, still hasn't hit the win column, but has been kind of in the mix and knocking at the door, especially here at the River. So 7-1, not a bad price, but again, hard to put one on top that just has not had a nose for the wire yet in that many starts.
And a quick thought on 4 Ultra Miles. Brett McDonald, Shane Arsenault, first-time starter.
Yeah, first time starter that, again, 2-year-old against older, right? I probably would have preferred to see him against horses his own age. Maybe then I thought the qualifier was decent. 28-2 on the end of it to solo CP, and didn't get beat all that much, and I thought showed some good movement in there. I just kind of wanted to watch first time out here, but definitely have respect for Shane Arsenault, what he can do with trotters, and again, one that I wouldn't leave off the bottom of the exotics.
Well, he threw him on my pick 5, taking a flyer. A lot of respect for Shane Arsenault. And we'll see how it unfolds, but it's Massive Tattoo, Fly Higher, Gaelic Piper on the inside. Ultra Miles and Willie Strike to the outside, Hobnob Hanover, Charmbeau Gem, and Hit the Bank. Field of 8, race number 1. The field for race number 1 is at the start of the rough, and Gaelic Piper is going to blast up with Charmbeau Gem and Hit the Bang. And backing away early is Willie Strike, back to second last in front of Hobnob Hanover. But right now, Hit the Bank is going to hit the early lead. Gaelic Piper, Charmbeau Gem, Massive Tattoo, Fly Higher, Ultra Miles, and then Willie Strike. And Hobnob Hanover is trailing the field. Hit the Bank at 3-1's got the lead for Travis Henry as the field works their way on up towards us. And Gaelic Piper is racing second. Then it is Charmbeau Gem, and racing position to fourth is Fly Higher. But right now, Hit the Bank. That opening quarter was 28-1. Hit the Bank leads by 2.25. Gaelic Piper is racing second. Charmbeau Gem, Massive Tattoo, and Fly Higher. Now Hobnob Hanover is moved to the outside. And then also stepping out is Willie Strike, but has to pass them all to win. And on the inside is Ultra Miles. And they work their way on up towards the half. 58-3, a 30-2 second handle breather. Hit the Bank at 3-1's got the lead. Gaelic Piper is second. Charmbeau Gem is third. Fourth is Massive Tattoo. And now Massive Tattoo steps out in front of Hobnob Hanover. Then it is Fly Higher. Willie Strike has passed one. That is Ultra Miles. And they head on to 3/4. And it is Hit the Bank who's got the lead. Hit the Bank is on top by about a length and 3/4. Gaelic Piper is second. Charmbeau Gem is third. Massive Tattoo and Fly Higher and Hobnob Hanover and Willie Strike and Ultra Miles. 3/4 was 129, and it is Hit the Bank, who's still moving well and with no urging. Hit the Bang, and Gaelic Piper, Charmbeau Gem, then Fly Higher, Hobnob Hanover, and Willie Strike out wide, closing with a lot of work to do. And on down the stretch drive, Hit the Bank, still no urging, light tapping now, and it's going to be Hit the Bank from post 8 at 3-1 to win. Gaelic Piper was second, then Charmbeau Gem, and fourth is between Hobnob Hanover and Willie Strike. 2 minutes flat, post position 8 at 3-1 to kick off the evening, Robert.
Yeah, not bad price to kick off the early pick 5. Anyways, again, I was hoping for this one would be maybe a bit higher on a win ticket, but did use this one in the pick 5 going forward, and I think it should be a decent knockout, getting obviously the favorite beat, and in a race too where it was kind of the betting was kind of going in many different directions, and right off the gate, I knew Willie Strike wasn't going to be able to be effective in there. And I thought maybe I went back and actually watched it on YouTube already to start to see if he made a bobble or made a break. He didn't. He just kind of just it didn't go forward off the switch, kind of just got left behind them off the gate after his nose was on the gate. I thought he was going to try to go forward. He wasn't able to. He closed up, decently enough in the late stages, but the race was long over by the time he got moving forward. But Hit the Bank, went to the front, and we know that tactical speed is so important here. This one showed it before, Gary, and you were right to mention that line at Georgian Downs really shouldn't deter anyone when you look at the time, because the track there certainly was, on the dead side for much of the month of August anyways. So Hit the Bank against softer competition today at the River. Gets the job done at 3-1.
Yeah, and well, look, the good news is we're alive in the pick 5. You went 2 deep, and the second one gets in. I'll go 3 deep, and my third one is there, so we're still rolling.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you go too deep and you get 3-1 shot down in the favorite beat. It's not the worst thing, and even for yourself, right? Three deep, and we're going to certainly knock a lot of tickets out, anyways, here in the opening leg. But the sequence kind of looks competitive throughout. I think that we're going to see a good payout as long as you can run the gauntlet.
And Charbo Gem at 25 to 1 will help the Try and Super.
Yeah, definitely will. You know, a horse that I thought was racing well at Hanover. Wasn't sure how it would translate. Certainly translated pretty well for a third place finish. And Gaelic Piper just keeps on knocking at victory's door. He'll hopefully get his nose on the wire first one of these days.
It's an 8-3-7-6, and back in front of us is number 8, Hit the Bank, 3-year-old By the Bank Bay filly owned by Gerard Demers and J.R. Mer won Jim Trophy. Gerard Demers, the trainer, Travis Henry, the winning driver. First win for Hit the Bank, 2 minutes flat. The first race payouts, number 8, Hit the Bank, 843, 8283. Gaelic Piper, 432, 80. 7, Charbeau Gem, 480. $2 exactor, 28.70. Dollar Try, 83.80. Dollar Super, 400, 30.10. First race, so we finish from the top, 762-854-31. That's 762-854-31 on the bottom.
Hit the bank, getting the job done in the opening dash at odds of 3-1. Certainly be a bit of a bust out in that early pick 5. But if you're still alive or if you're not, might as well jump in on the early pick 4, starting right here in race number 2, guaranteed pool. $2,500 low takeout, 15%. And there's my ticket again. No singles for me in this sequence. Either going to keep it the same as my pick 5. We're going to go 2 and 3 of the legs and then take a shot with 4 of them in the fourth race. So 1 and 4 here to kick it off. Bobby Bonebreaker and Bozak. Bozak is one that you might have to give the edge to with how good he raced last time, but I've always liked Bobby Bonebreaker, and he's got the pole position. Raced for great connections as well. We're going to have him on the ticket. 4 and 8 in race 3. Smart thinking looks like the logical choice in there after really impressively beating this group August the 14th. But now DM Snake Plissken, second start back off a layoff. It is post 8, but he raced tremendous last time. He won't be that 24-1, but I love his chances even from that post 8. Race 4, 1, 4, 5, and 9, 4 deep, and they're kind of a wide open trotting event. I know Gary's kind of got me convinced that I should use a 6 Orly Shadow as well, so maybe use that one on your ticket. But I do think that is kind of the race where we might see a big number come home because it is kind of wide open from top to bottom. And then race 5, the 3 and 7. It don't matter to me now. Not the most sure-footed trotter, but she is very impressive when she does stay on her gates. And the 7, she trots a lot, who I thought has raced tremendous, especially when paired with Scott Young here at the river. So 2 deep in that final leg, 3 and 7, $6.40 for a 20-cent ticket. Relatively affordable. We'll see what Conley has in store for us. Now, I know he went to the single in race 3. I think he's going to stick with that one likely. A smart thinking in race 3, and he does. The 4 in race 3 is his single. $4.80. He's going to go 1-4 here, so we're in the same page here in the opening leg. Then just the 4 smart thinking, then 3, 5, 7, and 9. So he is going deepest of all in that race 4 that I said was kind of a wide open trotting event. He's got 2 different ones than what I have, but again, that's one where really there can be a lot of different chances and opinions in that race. So don't mind what he's done there. And then 2, 5, and 7 in that money leg. Intuitive one I'm jumping off of. Maybe I shouldn't be. Intuitive post 2. As well as the 5 Devil's Kiss, and she trots a lot. $4.80 for Conley's ticket. Map out your winning wagers right now for this early pick 4. Again, guaranteed pool $2,500, low takeout 15%. We'll be back in a moment or two to take a closer look at race number 2.
Field for race number 2. On parade 1, Bobby Bonebreaker Travis Henry for Greg McNair and Grand Slam Stable. Number 2 is Leave It to Lucan, Jason Ryan for Ryan Stewart and Patrick McElhargey and Courtney Pollard. Three is Babbling Billy, Sammy Filia for Murray Brather and Kevin McKinley and Vincent and Pino Albanese. 4 is Bozak. It's Brett McDonough for Scott McEnany and Brenda and Mark Lane and Anthony Lane. And 5, Wicked Move. Paul Davies drives drains for Nicole Davies. Field 5, race number 2, Prospect Series. 2-year-old Colton Gelding's on the pace. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, Bozak, we got to see this one cruise on around the track rather nicely here last time out, Robert.
Yeah, he did. It was an easy victory in the end, wasn't it? Obviously getting big-time class relief, and maybe with the transition to the Prospect Series coming, they wanted to get a start over this surface and as well get a little bit of a confidence boost for Bozak as he was taking on OSS grassroots competition and tougher rivals at Mohawk Park before that. He did his job, though. Pole position, went to the lead, held a comfortable margin through much of the mile, stopped the clock in 56 and 3 at 25 cents the dollar. I still think he'll be the favorite in here. I think he warrants that tag here, and it might be close between him and Bobby Bonebreaker. Those are the two that obviously I'm kind of stuck on, but giving the edge to Bozak after that impressive victory last time out.
Yeah, and look, Bobby Bonebreaker, 4 to 5, will probably stay reasonably low because, well, what has he done wrong? 5 starts, 5 top 3 finishes, and that win here in 54 and correction, the second place finisher 54 and 1 2 races ago. That speed compares. Look, I know you say don't put too much stock into time, but still 54 and 1 is a decent time for 2-year-old Colt over this track.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, and it was a solid effort. That was a non-winners of 1, but facing older horses, right? So he's proven he can do that, and he did that actually in his lifetime debut at Dresden. And I was there live that day on Canada Day, and I was very impressed with the way he raced from off the pace to be second. Now, he disappointed as the favorite. Going into that off some decent qualifiers, but it was still a real nice effort. And since then, he has not turned in a poor effort, right? He's got 5 on the board finishes and 5 tries. And he's one that can get off the gate. I think he's going to push forward, and maybe the plan would be to try to sit a 2-hole trip behind Bozak. I mean, I think those are the two that are going to kind of blast off the wings of the gate. 1 to 2 right now, it's a little short for my liking. He hasn't raced since August 13th, right? That was my one kind of deciding factor. 1 is right back on a regular rotation. 1 hasn't raced, in that since that time. So I'd rather take the one that probably has a fitness edge. But again, Bobby Bonebreaker race for Greg McNair, likely ready to roll. But 1 to 2 for me, much too short. That's going to probably even out, I think, come post time.
That was the toss-up for me, and I ended up with the 1, but then I looked, Greg McNair, you know what? I'll just forget the August 13th and go with it. Look, how about number 3, Babbling Billy? We've been babbling on about the 1 and 4, and Babbling Billy is probably going to have something to say about things here. And Babbling Billy is one that's coming in off of a second at Georgian Downs.
Yeah, and I mean, if there was a name bet for me, it'd be this one because my son William, he's been talking up a storm now at 18 months, and Babbling Billy kind of is suiting for him. I'm sure Megan would be going in that direction, but I didn't. I do have this one for third. I've liked the way he's raced actually in several of his efforts. No wins yet, 3 on the board finishes. Another trainer that I'm more than happy to get behind Murray Breather with youngsters. And I thought last time out raced pretty well to 5-star Lou, who we'd probably be thinking can be more than competitive against this group. So I thought he'd be the value play. He is right now at 8 to 1. I knew there'd be 2 in here. They're going to take all the support, the ones that we like, Gary. But Babbling Billy to me is kind of the X factor that might be able to challenge them. But again, for me, a bottom end in the trifecta.
I think I'll call your son Prince William over there in the Palace, and I think there's going to be a Palace coup at some point soon coming as well. And number 2, Leave It to Lucan. Off a second, it's aren't you? You watch all those races. Your thought on Leave It to Lucan?
Yeah, definitely. By the way, my wife Megan calls him Wills, which I guess is the nickname for Prince William. I don't know. But the 2, Leave It to Lucan. This is actually Michael Carter's best bet of the night for Ontario Racing. He's very fond of this one tonight, and I've been fond of this horse throughout his career so far. I think I've pegged him on top at least two of those races in Sarnia. I just think this is a big step up in competition. I know he faced Grassroots Company 2 back, took support to 8-1. You'd have to say, well, he's got to do well in the Prospect Series, but the two overnight races, I think this is much tougher than what he's had to face there. So I think getting a piece of the bottom end of the try, maybe. I couldn't get there on a win ticket today on Leave It to Lucan, but I have been fond of this horse in the past.
Wicked Move is mad at us. He says, I was in the Prospect Series here twice at Grand River, and I finished second and third, and you don't even talk about me.
It's true. You know what? He's got a right to be mad. He's got a point there. 3 on the board, finishes 5 tries. Only got beat a neck in his lifetime debut. Went a long way in the lead in that one. Don't think that's the trip scenario tonight. But listen, Paul Davies might be able to put him in the right position, and maybe he can be the upsetter at 13-1.
It's a field of 5 for the second dash. Bobby Bonebreaker, Leave It to Lucan on the inside. In the center, Babbling Billy. To the outside, Bozak and Wicked Move. It's a field of 5. The second dash on a Wednesday night as the field is wending their way towards the start. And the field for the second race. Is at the start, and they're off, and from the outside, Wicked Move and Bozak, and now on the inside, Bobby Bonebreaker is riding through. Then Leave It to Lucan and Babbling Billy, but Wicked Move at 25-1 was able to clear to the front temporarily for Paul Davies, and now Bozak wants to skate on and take the lead. Bozak, Wicked Move, Bobby Bonebreaker's racing third, then Leave It to Lucan and Babbling Billy. Bozak has the front 3-5 of the board, and Wicked Move is second. Bobby Bonebreaker is third now. Then racing position fourth is Leave It to Lucan, and then it is Babbling Billy trailing the field. Bozak has the front. Wicked Move is right there, binding time of the pocket off a 27-4 opening quarter. The field heads up towards the half, and Bobby Bonebreaker will stay on the inside just yet, and then Leave It to Lucan angles out just a bit, and then back trailing the field is Babbling Billy. But Bozak, 27-4 opening quarter. They head to the half. Bozak, half of 58-2. A 30-3 second panel breather as the field works their way on up towards 3/4, and Bozak. Wicked Move is racing second. Bobby Bonebreaker still on the inside, and Bobby Bonebreaker is racing on the pylons in front of Babbling Billy, and then it is Leave It to Lucan and Bozak, and then Wicked Move, and now Bobby Bonebreaker has moved out, but it is Bozak who's sharp on top. Off stride, Wicked Move, and now Bobby Bonebreaker and Herod second. Then Babbling Billy and Leave It to Lucan. It is Bozak. Bobby Bonebreaker's trying to close. Bozak, Bobby Bonebreaker, wheels to the outside. Bozak now is going to get tested by Bobby Bonebreaker. And also flying late comes Babbling Billy, but Bozak is digging in. Leave It to Lucan up the inside. And it is Bozak. Leave It to Lucan. Bozak wins it. Leave It to Lucan with second. Babbling Billy third. Bobby Bonebreaker tired late to finish fourth. Bozak 156 to front end again.
Yeah, front end again for Bozak, and we got that second quarter breather. A little dicey late though, right? I mean, you could see on the turn for home, he just kind of shortened stride a little bit, and they started coming at him. Look, he was just on cruise control before then, but he dug in again, like you said, Gary, in the stretch drive. He really dug in again and kind of got away from them, and that was enough to then hold them off at the wire. So Bozak, rivals on both sides, coming to the finish there. You saw him, he flashed his tail at Brett there, probably getting a little bit tired in the late stages, but had enough to get the victory.
I also think we noticed that horses up the passing lane, I think, are getting up there a little bit quicker, and it really was a case that Bozak had to dig in, not so much that Leave It to Lucan wasn't able to come on in the passing lane.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I mean, they have been closing up much quicker, and I'm always impressed when a youngster, a rookie out there will go up the passing lane. A lot of the 2-year-olds don't like doing that. I mean, with Leave It to Lucan only has 3 career starts, but he did punch through there pretty strongly, and he ends up laying on the bottom end of the exact at 16-1. So nice pick by Michael Carter, who did have this one as his top pick, but raced pretty well to be second to the heavy favorite there. I mean, it's always easy to side with a 3-5 shot, right? He went took his neck out there in a 16-1 shot, and this one finished second. Babbling Billy, I thought. I mean, horses don't usually kind of unleash that kind of a late charge like that from that far off the pace. I know it was a short field and all, but I think we'll see good things from that one going forward.
And one Bobby Bonebreaker, I think August 13th actually did matter.
It did. No, it definitely did, because you know what? On the turn for home, I thought when we saw Bozak kind of started to back up a little bit, I thought Bobby Bonebreaker might be able to break that one's heart by getting up alongside him, but he wasn't able to do that. It looked like he had all kinds of pace to that point. That's usually a sign of a horse that might be a bit short. He ends up finishing fourth, but with that under his belt, he'll probably do better things next time out.
It's a 4-2, 3-1, job 4, and coming back in front of us, second race winner, number 4, Bozak, a 2-year-old Dancing Lou gelding, owned by Brendan Marklane and Anthony Lane. Scott McEnany, the trainer, Brett McDonald, the winning driver. Bozak, 156 flat. Second race payouts for Bozak, 320, 260, and 750. To Leave It to Lucan, 990 and 3040. 3 Babbling Billy, 970. $2 Exactor, $46. Dollar Try, 69.10. Dollar Super, 138.50. Double of 8 and 4, 15.30. The second race, order finish from the top down, 42315. That's 42315.
Winback Farm of Canada is home to 9 exceptional stallions, including Beach Glass, the last great son of legendary sire of sires, Some Beach Somewhere. Also new in 2024, Lawless Shadow, an O'Brien Award winner for 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. Double millionaire betting line, sire of 5 winners of over $400,000. Mick Wicked, the richest pacing stallion in harness racing history, and Hall of Fame inductee. Trixton, sire of 6 who have earned over $500,000, including O'Brien Award winner Evident Beauty. Also standing, Archangel, Better Than Cheddar, Better's Delight, and My MVP. For more information, winbackfarm.com.
Field for the third on parade 1. Wizard of Bots, Daryl Thiessen for Kevin Bots. And 2 Perfect Smiley, Nick Stewart for Peter Christie. 3 is Montrego, Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen in A1 stable. Number 4 is Smart Thinking, Scott Kohler for Kevin BX. 5, Aladdin Dulac, Semi Filia for Alexandre Laroche and Jean Laroche. Number 6 is Big Honor, Brett McDonough for Graham Burgess. Number 7 is Easily the Best, Travis Henry for Matt Dupuis and Rick Heeman. And number 8, DM Snake Plissken, Tyler Moore for Don Lindsay and Derek Watson. Field of 8. Race number 3, let's get a look at this field. And Rob, a lot of times I like to figure out who I think you're going to have in a race. I knew you'd be on DM Snake Plissken, but I had to go there too.
Yeah, no, and I figured you would, and I wasn't surprised to see Ken Middleton go along with us here, and 3 of us have us on top right now, and he's sitting at 8-1. The effort last time, I would have really done well if he wins last time at 24-1. He was on all my multi-leg tickets. I thought he was going to have a big chance because the qualifier I thought was much better than advertised. And then he raced tremendously well. He got away 6th off the gate. And I still think if he had been able to navigate some room in the backside, he's likely a winner in that race. Now, he ended up a fast closing 3rd at 24-1, but now he gets that start under his belt. We saw him hit the board in 7 of 8 last season, and I just think that this is a spot that's well suited for him. Right, second try in the condition claiming ranks. I love first-time condition claimer, but this is now one that likely needed that start and just needed him a little more luck in that trip. So I think it's going to be one from coming off the pace. I don't think he's going to be able to go forward all that much off the gate, but I do think that if there's any pace to chase, he can be right there at the wire, and he's providing value right now at 8-1.
And Tyler Moore has been aboard him in victory, in fact, last September here, and from a bit off the pace in that one.
He gets along perfectly well with this horse. He drove the horse through, I think, many, if not all of his starts last year. I think, again, he's showing he can do good things from off the pace. He doesn't really show a lot of early foot, especially from an outside draw, but I think we'll hear from him at some point in the mile.
Number 4, Smart Thinking, was a winner here back in the middle of August, and that was an amazing off-the-pace effort. Smart Thinking, only 1 win on the year, just 2 last year, but I noticed you used this one on your pick 5, and I think that's probably pretty smart.
Yeah, I couldn't leave him off here because you mentioned that start. It was one of those ones where you had to go back and watch it just to kind of realize how impressive it was, because he's always been a closer. And he was kind of, picking up pieces and finishing well for third place finishes, in the numbers of 1,500 last 3. He goes to the condition claiming ranks. He came from way out of it, but he just swept past him with a 27 flat third quarter. And it was much easier than it looks on paper, like 3/4 of a length. But it was kind of one of those no doubters. Like when he made his move, he was going to be the winner, and there was just absolutely nothing any other horse could do about it. So I think it looks really good on the track right now. Decent draw. Missed obviously a week between starts after having a transportation scratch last time out, and that start at Sarnia. I wouldn't be too concerned about that 4th place finish. I think that's a pretty solid group. I think we'd back any one of those horses against these.
Thoughts on 1, Wizard of Bots? This is a guy that impressed me a lot of times last year, and I know he can be good on the lead on the inside.
He can be, and the thing is that we usually talk about how when horses go those front end efforts and get beat, they can come back and be better for it, right? And he set legit for actions last time out from post 4. Now he gets the pole position. He's a horse too that had not been racing condition claiming ranks until his last 2, and I thought his first start was a good one. And then last time out, even took another step forward. I think 5-2 might be a bit short, but you can see there's 3 of them right now at 5-2. And I don't mind any of those horses. Obviously, we're on DM Snake Plissken, but those other 3 are the ones I use underneath. And Daryl Thiessen is a nice pickup for this horse.
And I messed up John here. He's going in the order of your picks, and just got excited about Wizard of Bots. Aladdin Dulac, he hasn't been all that lacking of late.
No, he's actually raced really well, deceptively well, since getting back to the river. He went forward off the gate, 2 back. then got shuffled back, and I thought raced tremendous to be third. If you remember last time, I put this horse on top at a big price. I said, you know what, he might try to go down the road from post 7. Well, he didn't. He went right back to 7th off the gate and was never had a chance with the way it panned out. He's taken money throughout the betting today. I'd be shocked if he doesn't go forward off the switch this time around. This is a softer group. But, I mean, he's got to face a pretty tough field. That's why I couldn't get there this time around. And the price to me is a little bit too short considering who he has to go up against.
Well, Rob, we're still sitting at 5-1 on DM Snake Plissken. It's a field of 8 with Wizard of Oz, Perfect Smiley, Montrego on the inside. Smart Thinking at Aladdin Dulac in the center. The outside, Big Honor, easily the best. DM Snake Plissken. It's a field of 8 for race number 3. And the field for race number 3 is at the start, and they're off. And coming out alertly, Montrego is leaving with Aladdin Dulac. Easily the best, and Smart Thinking and Wizard of Oz is on the inside. Then Perfect Smiley and Big Honor. DM Snake Plissken is back trailing the field. Aladdin Dulac at 9-5 has come on to get the lead. Montrego is filling the pocket. Smart Thinking continues on, and Smart Thinking and Scotty Coulter is thinking of trying to make the front. It is Smart Thinking at Aladdin Dulac and Montrego, and then up and driving is easily the best. Also, a lot of action early in this one. And Smart Thinking, 27-1 the opening quarter. Smart Thinking's got the lead, Aladdin Dulac, and now easily the best is going to force things, and then Montrego and Wizard of Bots and Perfect Smiley and Big Honor and DM Snake Plissken trails. Of a 27-1 opening quarter, the field heads up towards the half, and Smart Thinking, easily the best, is forging forward on the outside. Aladdin Dulac is in the pocket. Montrego, Wizard of Bots, and Perfect Smiley, and Big Honor, and now DM Snake Plissken. And Tyler has pulled the trigger, and now that one is making up a lot of ground of a half of 56-1, and it is Smart Thinking racing on the outside, easily the best. And then Aladdin Dulac, and now DM Snake Plissken is moving up and sneaking up closer. Montrego popped out. Montrego's on the move as well as they hustle up to 3/4, and it is easily the best in Smart Thinking. Montrego, Aladdin Dulac, and then DM Snake Plissken and Perfect Smiley. 3/4, 125, and Smart Thinking is digging in. Smart Thinking and easily the best in Montrego. And then Aladdin Dulac and Perfect Smiley and DM Snake Plissken is fanned out. They come on down the stretch drive. And Smart Thinking, Aladdin Dulac and Montrego, they're all right there coming to the finish. Up the inside, Aladdin Dulac gets there. Aladdin Dulac and Smart Thinking, then Montrego, and easily the best. Rob, a race with a lot of action from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, it really was, and you could see earlier on. I mean, I like what Scott Coulter did with Smart Thinking. He put him on the lead because he figured he probably had the best horse in the race, and he raced tremendous. But Aladdin Dulac, this is a horse that, if the line's kind of fallen off the page, but his last victory, only victory of the season, came under a similar circumstance, getting that 2-hole trip. And he's a horse that really thrives off either having the engine or getting that pocket spot. And you can see up the passing lane here. I thought Smart Thinking might be able to outkick them in the stretch with that lead throughout, but Aladdin Dulac looks like he pickpockets him right at the wire.
Yeah, and also we mentioned that the passing lane is getting a little more alive. It was alive for Aladdin Dulac.
Yeah, it definitely was. We've seen it, like you said. We've seen it throughout the season. It's gotten a lot better. We've seen horses come forward, and this is one here that's certainly no stranger to that kind of a trip, and was able to punch on through. And he took money throughout. I'd be shocked, though, if he's 9-5 in the multi-leg wagers. And I'm a little bit sick, Gary, because I went that 2x2 approach early, and I guess I should have went 3 deep here because I've been very fond of Aladdin Dulac. This is a Robert Off angle. I've been picking this horse in each of his last 2 at long odds, and this time around, he wins without me.
The horse to keep an eye on out of this race also is Montrego. Actually raced really well. One we didn't talk about, Travis Cullen, Jody Cullen, has not been firing all that much up at Georgian Downs, comes out of that nominators at 2, but raced well.
Yeah, definitely raced well, and yeah, I agree with you. That's one that I've kind of noted down here because he was closing willingly right to the wire. another horse making that transition to the condition claiming ranks, and this looks like a nice class for him, no doubt about it. DM Snake Plissken, I mean, he was a long way out of it early. Kind of got a little bit excited when he started making that move forward, but just that's a tough trip to win from here. I mean, it's going to be pretty tricky for him to get the job done from an outside draw, and maybe should have thought that going into the race.
Well, we did get 5-1, so it was worth a flyer. And look, the Robert Off angle hits for Aladdin Dulac. It's a 5-4-3-7 top four. Aladdin Dulac, a 5-year-old Sunshine Beach Bay gelding, owned by Jean Laroche. Alexandre Laroche is the trainer. Sammy Filliard, the winning driver. Second win this year for Aladdin Dulac. Victorious 154-1. The third race. Payouts 5 Aladdin Dulac, $5.90, $3 $2.50. 4 Smart Thinking, $3.30, $2.10. 3 Montrego, $4.30. $2 Exactor, $16.50. $1 Try, $35.90. $1 Super, $163.75. third race, order finish top down 753-21846. That's 753-21846. Field for race number 4 on parade 1. What's the point? Travis Cullen for Wayne Henry and Henry Stable. Number 2 is talk show host Tyler Jones for Mariel Enberg and Brenda Darrable. Number 3, Chip Happen, Travis Henry for James McCaig and Jan McCaig, Weisher. For Santa Ambrosio, Brett McDonough for Dan O'Brien. 5 is Abby Cadabra, Daryl Thiessen for Steve Bossons and Derek Reed. Number 6, Orly's Shadow, Mariaba Eroja for Marie-Eve Robitaille, Orlando Stable. Number 7, Fastnet Rock, Jason Wright for Matt Dupuis and Lance Wells and Lyndon Wells. 8 is Smokin' Power, Scott Young for Shane Arsenault. And number 9, Salisbury Campy, Paul McDonnell drives and trains for Haley Curry. Field of 9, race number 4. Let's get a look at this field, and we'll start with number 5, Abby Cadabra. No, hold it. Abby Cadabra. There we go. Professional announcer. I had to work at these things. 2-1 on the board, and look, you're the professional handicapper. You have this one on top. Full disclosure, I had him on top and then changed my mind at the last second. But Abby Cadabra, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was a fan of her last year. She had 4 top 2 finishes in 10 tries. This year, winless in 8, but 3 on the board finishes and kind of trending in the right direction for trainer Steve Bossons, and also got away from those OSS grassroots competition. Prospect Series 2 back, was second, Don't Mess With Mama there in Sarnia. And then third last time, she trots a lot. It did have some interference on the backside. There was one that kind of scattered them, and I thought raced pretty decent to be third. Just always been a fan of the horse, and she gets a better post to work from now, moving in a couple spots on the gate. And Daryl Thiessen aboard for a follow-up drive. I always like it when someone gets aboard them for the first time, and then you get that second start with them as well. So I think we'll likely see her a little closer this time around. And I mean, the value's not there though, right? 9-5. That's pretty tough pill to swallow when that's 0 for 8 this year. But I do think she's in with a big chance.
Number 9, Salisbury Cammie, 4-1 trailer post, but Salisbury Cammie looked good last time out.
It did, yeah. Closed nicely to be third. Was a long way out of it. It don't matter to me. Was a winner again after it looked like she might make a break in stride at the head of the lane. Somehow recovered quickly to still go on for victory. And Saint Ambrosio was the only one that beat her. That one had the advantage of being on the engine throughout. Salisbury Cammie now gets back on that regular rotation, which is something we love to get behind. And it was facing pretty tough competition throughout her sophomore campaign. 2 wins, 4 on the board finishes in 10 tries, and Hall of Famer Paul McDonnell does the driving and training. So I think this one right now is a decent price of 7-2. I knew we wouldn't get the 8-1 morning line on her. I thought she'd likely be somewhere around this number. I thought 3-1 or 5-2 would be the right price, so 7-2 is a bit of an overlay.
What's the point is one that we saw do a couple of good things as a 2-year-old, and earlier this year was okay in spots, but boy, that last race had not much to look at, but now the inside.
It will inside and hadn't raced in 2 months, right? So you've got to look at that and say, okay, well, post 6, obviously likely needs a start. Got away last off the gate, made up a couple of positions late, and I thought actually had quite a bit of trot on the end of her mile. So she's the one that was intriguing to me as a price play. 9-1 on the board right now. I'd use her everywhere in the exotics because your second start back, and you see right there on June 9th was a winner in non-winners of 2 at Georgian Downs, similar class to this, and I thought beat a pretty decent group. So what's the point? 9-1 pole position, Travis Cullen. Not a bad number at all. Might be worth a flyer at that price.
Santa Ambrosio almost won here at 48-1 last time out, and if it don't matter to me, continues to go off stride when things went amiss for that one. Santa Ambrosio would have been a winner.
Yeah, she would have been, and I thought she was. I mean, when that one put that step in the final turn, I said, "Wow, we're going to see a 48-1 shot." Trainer owner Dan O'Brien handed the lines over to Brett McDonald on that occasion, and it really kind of woke her up. She went to the lead, and she looked alive right to the wire, up in the final strides, and now you get Brett aboard for a follow up steer. Obviously, not the price you got last time, right? 48-1, all the way down to 4-1. I've always liked this mare. Really, successful seasons at 2 and 3, and just wasn't really doing much this year at all. 0 for 18, 4 on the board finishes. But maybe, with catch driver Brett McDonald aboard, that's going to help her kind of keep moving in the right direction. 4-1 on the board. I think she's going to be in the mix throughout.
And a quick thought on Orly's Shadow.
Price is right. And you know what? You kind of convinced me with when we talked about our pick 5 tickets. This horse was a real nice winner August the 7th, and that follow-up effort at Georgian Downs was a good one, and against Tougher. And last time out, really got used hard. You can't hold that one against him, and he might fire off the gate again tonight, and he's one that has potential to go gate to wire.
Well, the price, like you said, is worth taking a look at. It's a field of 9 for race number 4. They're in the backstretch. Gathering speed approaching the start. Field for the 4th race. Is at the start, and they're off, and Sant'Ambrogio. Chip Happened is happened off stride. Abby Cadabra, what's the point? Orly's Shadow is racing on the outside, and then talk show host and Salisbury Cabbie. And now Orly's Shadow is going to take back and find a seat on the inside 4th. It is Abby Cadabra, 8-5 on the board, and Sant'Ambrosio's racing 2nd. What's the point is 3rd. Orly's Shadow 4th, and then talk show host is 5th in front of Salisbury Cabbie. Opening quarter was 28 seconds as the field works their way on towards us, and then further back is Fastnet Rock racing 7th, and then Smokin' Power. And Chip happened off stride early in the mile. Abby Cadabra leads, and Sant'Ambrogio is 2nd. And then on the inside, what's the point? And Orly's Shadow is on the inside and is racing 4th. Salisbury Cabbie now is working on the outside. First over and is coming on. And talk show host is moving on the outside. Half of 58-3. Abby Cadabra with the lead. Sant'Ambrogio. And now moving up. Salisbury Cabbie. What's the point? Talk show host, and then Orly's Shadow now is going to move on the outside in front of Fastnet Rock, and then it is back to Smokin' Power. And Abby Cadabra has got the front. Salisbury Cabbie. They head by 3/4 inside 3rd. Sant'Ambrogio. Then what's the point in talk show host and Orly's Shadow. And Fastnet Rock 3/4 127-3. And it is Abby Cadabra who is leading. Abby Cadabra, Sant'Ambrogio is getting a trip. Salisbury Cabbie. And then what's the point in Orly's Shadow in the field? Turns for him on down the stretch. Where they come. Abby Cadabra, Sant'Ambrogio up the inside. Sant'Ambrogio up the passing lane. Sant'Ambrogio is going to get up the passing lane to win it. Abby Cadabra is 2nd. Salisbury Cabbie 3rd. What's the point? 157-2. Sant'Ambrogio. Well, we saw it last time out. We can also now put to rest the idea that the passing lane can't be one up.
Back-to-back races where the winner comes up the passing lane. And we got a preview for what Sant'Ambrogio could do last time, right? It went a long way in the lead. Only got picked up by the heaviest of favorites, It Don't Matter to Me, who got up in the final strides. It was the best of the rest on that occasion. Now, that does step up to face, I would say, probably a tougher group pound for pound, because other than the winner last time, I thought that group was maybe a bit on the soft side. But Sant'Ambrogio races fantastic again for Brett McDonald. Ends up getting that 2-hole trip, punches up the pylons late at the passing lane for the victory. And this is one that might really benefit from that confidence boost, because this is one that I've always thought was racing well at 2 and 3. This year kind of had a hard luck year so far, but now she's got a 2nd and now a victory here at the River.
And Abby Cadabra didn't give it up easily, fought gamely, so that's certainly one you can come right back to.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I mean, Abby Cadabra didn't do anything wrong. I mean, she goes to the engine this time around, and I thought raced well on the lead. One that hasn't been there all that much in her career, so she's probably still learning the ropes for being a pace setter in a race. and didn't miss by much. I mean, she fought gamely to the wire. The two favorites kind of duke it out in the final strides there, and St. Ambrosia just because the better ever. I thought Salzburg Cami was moving fantastic first over. I thought she might just float right past them, but ended up when they kind of accelerated into the final turn. That's when she kind of felt the pinch, and she ends up finishing third at 4-1.
And what's the point was a lot better now, the second start off the layoff.
Yes, had a good trip, right? Pole position kind of lended itself for that one to set a nice journey. Sits an inside trip and ends up rounding up the superfecta at 13-1. Pretty logical, all in all, though, in this race, Gary.
Well, your top four were a 5-9-1-4, so you had the right to four. Different order, but very understandable race in San Ambrosio. We saw it last week, and then it culminated in a win here. San Ambrosio 4-5-9-1. 4-year-old Wheeling and Dealing Bay mare, owned and trained by Dan O'Brien. Brett McDonald, the winning driver. First win this year, sixth win lifetime. San Ambrosio 157-2. The fourth race payouts for San Ambrosio, $680, $340, $310. Five Happy Cadabra, $3 $2.99. Salisbury Cami, $3.80, $2 Exactor, $17.70. Try $37. Dollar Super, $214.10. Fourth race, order of finish from the top, 489-126-573. That's 489-126-573. Field for the fifth race on Parade 1, Sand Dune, Bruce Richardson for John Holding and Morley Bosworth. Number 2 is Intuitive, Scott Quiller, Dennis Morrissey, and Deanna D'Ambrosio, and Dr. David James Pedden. Number 3, It Don't Matter to Me, Tyler Jones for Dustin Jones and Golden Bear Racing. And for Lincoln's Landing, Steve Houdon for Laura Toscani and Gino Toscani. And number 5, Devil's Kiss, Louis Bois for Robert Kyle Fellows and Yolanda Fellows and Arpad Zabo and Blair Corbeil and Mike McAllister. Number 6, Ultra Lady S, Dag Henderson drives and trains and owns. Number 7, She Trots a Lot, Scott Young for Paul Walker and Keith Coulter. Number 8 is LMC Mr. Squishy, Pat Houdon for Lordina Sorello. And 9 is Ancient Wall, Phil Houdon for Kyle Rule and Triple S Equine. It's a field of 9, race number 5. Let's get a look at this field. And number 7, She Trots a Lot, 10-1 on the board. And there we see a nice little score down on She Trots a Lot.
Yeah, right now she looks fired up out there, Gary. And she's looked like that when she's raced with Scott Young in recent efforts. I mean, he's really gotten her off the gate well and had her, kind of chop out really legit fractions in 2 of the last 3 times that he's been aboard. The other time was in the OSS Gold rank, so you can't really expect her to to do the same in there. But she did sit a 2-hole trip before fading back to 4th. But I just thought she's raced tremendously well, and she's one I didn't really want to side against here. She's got those 2 wins for Scott, and she's been no worse than second in her last 3 at this level, and actually last 4 if you go back to the start on July 17th. So post 7, she can overcome that with the speed she's shown as of late, and the way she looks at the track right now, I certainly think the game plan has to be to go forward off the switch.
It Don't Matter to Me is the one that I thought was the main threat to her, but I didn't think the tote board would be sided in this direction. We saw San Ambrosio, who finished second, It Don't Matter to Me, come back and win here just recently. It Don't Matter to Me, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she would take all the support. I mean, it was really impressive what she did last time. She did as a heavy favorite. She was kind of babied the entire mile by Tyler Jones to kind of just make sure she stays on her gates. And then, I mean, to me at the head of the stretch, she made a miscue, but she reset right away. I mean, it was one of those ones where it was like a split second. And I've never seen it before, especially for a 3-year-old filly. I've never seen a horse get back down on her gate that quickly. And then she really gathered herself and went on to a victory and did so kind of easily, all things considered. So, I mean, if she goes out there and she stays on the trot, then I think she's one that can't get beat. But that's a big if. I mean, you see those miscues out there, and she did put in, at worst, a real funky step at the head of the stretch last time. But again, I'm a big fan of the horse. I'm just, again, one that's risk to reward, right? 6-5, is it worth it? I'm not so sure.
Intuitive is one that you should have lots of thought about, because this is one you've seen win at Sarnia, raced, had one good start at Mohawk, and also a start here August the 14th that was okay.
Yeah, I thought that the start last time was going to be a good one until that, obviously, that break in stride happened, went on an extended break and was first over. I thought kind of methodically coming forward before that miscue happened. Really nice efforts in Sarnia for victories, and I thought was kind of well in hand in those ones. And then the start at Mohawk Park, I was on her on that occasion. I thought she raced well to be third, all things considered, at a big price. And I think she can do good things in this class, but she's another one that has to mind her manners. But if she does, I think she gets onto the high 5. 15-1 right now down a point to 14-1. That's a good price.
Number 6, Ultra Lady S, is one that in each of the last 5 times she started here, she made the superfecta ticket. In fact, the top 3 and 4 of them. I'm surprised at 25-1. Yeah, maybe you don't like her on top, just 2 wins on the year, but has been consistently competitive.
Yeah, she's been getting forwardly placed and doing good things for Dag Hendrickson when she's been doing that. So I think one that you have to have in the high five somewhere. No respect though at all, right? 30-1 on the board. I mean, last time she took support to 8-1. The depth, like this field for the class has a lot of depth to it. This is a real strong group for the class. So I get that she's not going to take that kind of support, but I thought she should be somewhere around 15 or 16-1, not 30-1, and I'll be using her in the high five tickets.
Ancient Wall's a good one, but it's the trailer post who's 20-1. But Sand Dune now, it looms on the inside at 15-1. This is a filly that was really good at 2, and actually last race was okay. Sand Dune looms at 15-1.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as long as she can get away cleanly from the pole position, I think she's in with a chance to get a big piece of it. Thought she raced much better last time off a break and stride from the trailing post, nose back on gate. That's going to help her chances tremendously. Ancient Wall, very fond of the horse. I just don't know what he does from the trailing post. I mean, he's one that's not the most sure-footed to begin with, and he kind of needs to get forwardly placed. So I left him off the ticket tonight.
Well, It Don't Matter to Me is 6-5 of the board, and she trots along, has been trotting down the tote board, down to 3-1 now. It's a field of 9 for the 5th race on a Wednesday night. They're gathering speed approaching the start. Field for race number 5 is at the start. And they're off, and Ultra Lady S, and she trots a lot, and also LMC Mr. Squishy and Lincoln's Landing on the inside. Now on the inside, Sand Dune is going to be racing from 5th and backing away a bit. She trots a lot. Now is taken back and finds a spot on the inside, 6th in front of Intuitive. Then it is back to Ancient Wall, and It Don't Matter to Me was 9th, now 8th, and is moving on the outside, but with a lot of work to do. LMC Mr. Squishy at 30-1, and Hurricane Houdan storms to the lead as they work their way off the turn. Then it is Lincoln's Landing, and Devil's Kiss is racing on the inside and is positioned to 3rd right now. Sand Dune is 4th in front of Ultra Lady S. Then She Trots a Lot is trotting on the inside. It Don't Matter to Me is on the outside. Then it is back to Intuitive and Ancient Wall, and they head up towards the half. 27-1 opening quarter. Pair of long shots on top. LMC Mr. Squishy at 30-1 and Lincoln's Landing at 30-1 as well. Those are your top two. Devil's Kiss and Louis Bois now is moving on the outside and is a racing position 3rd. 3 wide is It Don't Matter to Me. Sand Dune in center of the track on the inside is Ultra Lady S. And then it is back to Ancient Wall, and she trots a lot, has yet to trot, but it's only about 5 or 6 off lead, and now trots to the outside. Ancient Wall is coming from way out of it, and now It Don't Matter to Me has come on to 4 to the front. 56-4 of the halftime. It Don't Matter to Me. Now Ancient Wall is driving on the outside. Ancient Wall and LMC Mr. Squishy is back to 3rd. Devil's Kiss. She trots a lot in Lincoln's Landing, and Sam Dune and Ultra Lady S. It Don't Matter to Me as the field turns for home. It Don't Matter to Me and Ancient Wall, and she trots a lot. And down the stretch drive they come. It Don't Matter to Me is cruising under wraps at the finish. It Don't Matter to Me, even money favorite. Ancient Wall will get 2nd. She trots a lot 3rd. And Devil's Kiss 4th. It Don't Matter to Me was last in the early going. But you know what, Rob? It just didn't matter.
No, it didn't. Well, she made a bobble again, right? She I mean, to me went on the gallop, but I mean maybe it was just a bobble again. But she certainly put steps in. And listen, she was already being handled conservatively off the gate at that point. But then she did take back to last or close to it after she put those steps in. She's a horse that obviously when she's got wicked gears when she's trotting, there's no question about it, and no real urging required. But the thing is that it's gonna either be she wins or she makes that miscue, and this time around, yeah, she briefly kind of put a bobble in, but then she just was too much for them, and that's what you can kind of expect. I mean, last time out, I thought she was going to be off the ticket at the head of the stretch, and she won with ease. This time, she absolutely crushes them. So very nice trotter. Been a fan of her from the get go, but obviously the short prices, you're going to try to look for better value on one that's not all that sure-footed.
Well, you got the value on the exactor ticket. At least we weren't sure how Ancient Wall would get into the race, and was way back early, but followed the move to the outside and was able to come on and be 2nd.
Yeah, no, it was a good effort. And Ancient Wall was one that I always kind of think has to be forwardly placed, but no, it was a nice closing effort from Ancient Wall, following the cover of It Don't Matter to Me, and getting into the race to round up the exact at 16-1 is going to really help all the exotic payouts here in a race that once you get past the couple logical ones. It was kind of wide open, and Ancient Wall will certainly help the payouts for all those, even though you do have the top three choices in the betting in the top four.
Yeah, and the Lincoln's Landing at 30-1, at least landing onto that high five will help it pick up. But it's still, I think Ancient Wall adds a good spot in there. Devil's Kiss is one that raced pretty well that we didn't talk about, the one to remember into the future now.
Yeah, did okay. She trots a lot to me is when you come back to different tactics this time around. Got taken back off the gate, and then I thought was moving pretty well on the end of it as well. And I think we can go back to her, especially with a better draw and maybe a softer group. Like I said, I thought this was a very deep group for the class, and It Don't Matter to Me just proved that she's the best in here. I mean, again, when she's on her gate, they're not beating her in this group.
Back in front of us, number 3, It Don't Matter to Me, a 3-year-old royalty for Life Bay filly. Owned by Dustin Jones Stable and Golden Bear Racing. Dustin Jones, the trainer. Tyler Jones, the winning driver. 5th win for It Don't Matter to Me this year in Lifetime. 2nd in a row. 157-2. Fifth race, payout 3, It Don't Matter to Me. $4.20, $3 to 49. Ancient Wall, $10.90, $5.47. She Trots a Lot, $2.90. Dollar pick 4, $62.25. Dollar pick 5, $400.15. $2 exactor, $38.50. The dollar tries, $83.40. The dollar pick 3, 3 of 3 is $28.40. Dollar high five is $1,682. The 20-cent high five, $336.40. Fifth race, order finish from the top, is a 691 547 382. That's 691 547 382.
Midway through the card here at Grand River on a wonderful Wednesday, and we are rolling right along. Just 2 minutes to post to race number 6, and that is the start of the late pick 5. Low takeout 15%. There's my ticket on the screen. Starting off with in the Prospect Series here, the 1 and 4. Giving the edge to the 4 and 5-star Lou right now at 3-1, but using those two here in the opening leg. 6 and 9 in race number 7. This Stony Burke, kind of a value player for me tonight in the 9 Goober Smack. Trailing post for Goober Smack tonight might be worth trying to beat that one. Stony Burke is one I thought raced really well last time out. Maybe can step forward this evening. Best bet, race number 8, the 1 Cadabra Kaboom. Love the way he raced last time. He's missed a week between starts, but he is the one that I've singled in this sequence and made my best bet of the night. Race number 9, the 5, 6, and 7. Doc's Philly Cheese, Hungry to Succeed, and C. Laird. All have been racing in good form as of late. Doc's Philly Cheese should like getting back here to the river where he was a winner in the top condition class July 22nd. 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7 for me in the finale. I think it's kind of a wide open event. We're going to spread out there and try to get a price down. $12 for a 20-cent ticket for yours truly. We'll see if we can see. Yeah, we'll do Conley's real quick here. We got a minute to go. There's Conley's ticket. Couple of singles, 1, 3, 4, and 5 here in the Prospect Series event. He's spreading out here and the second leg, 1, 2, 6, and 9. He's got Stony Burke on his ticket as well. I know he liked that one last time, so no surprise he's got that one involved. Just the 1 Cadabra Kaboom, so he's with me in agreement with my best bet in race number 8. 5 and 6 in race 9, Doc's Philly Cheese and Hungry to Succeed. And then that money leg, the finale, just the 2 Smokestack, getting that inside draw. And I think we'll likely see that one be prominent throughout in the finale. $6.40 for a 20-cent ticket for Conley. We're going to map out your winning tickets right now for this late pick 5 sequence. They'll be coming on the track shortly. We'll come back after the post break to take a closer look at race number 6.
Field 4, race 6 on parade 1. What's your limits? Rabbit Oliver, Scott McInerney, and Northwest Racing, and Peter Ferrantino. And number 2 is Tommy Trevor Austin Sorry for Rodney Hughes and Harness Horsepower. Number 3 is up front BB, and it's Louis Watt driving for Dave Holliday and Ben Holliday. Number 4 is 5-star Lou, Travis Henry for Sean Stacy and Landmark 17 Racing and Dan Mogridge and S.O. Lotnan. And number 5 is Silver Wall, Scott Culver, Dennis Morrissey, and Dale Hunter. Field of 5, race number 6. Let's get a look at this field. Well, we'll start with number 4, 5-star Lou. And a 5-star Lou, 7-5 on the board. Gets 5 stars for that effort up at Georgian Downs last time out, Robert.
Yeah, certainly does. Thought it was a real good effort to get the victory in a nice group of 2-year-olds over that surface. 56-3 as the favorite, and kind of won with ease, right on the end of it. 27-3 third quarter, 28-4. Track kind of got faster, right, in the closing days of the meet there. And I do think that he's the one to beat in here. Wasn't taking all the support early, but now is kind of taking all the money. He went into that off a vet scratch lane, hadn't raced in almost a month. Now comes back on more of a regular rotation, so he can even take a step forward in that regard and race for solid connections. I think he's the one to beat. But for a compact field, I mean, there might be some other opportunities in here as well. I think it's a pretty solid group, top to bottom.
One of those opportunities is what's your limits, but 2-1. Look, enjoyed it here, and then not so much elsewhere in other places because has made breaks. But what's your limits? No break here, just romped.
Yeah, no, it was a real nice effort from this one. August the 9th, went to the lead from post five, had a healthy margin in early stages, and then held off Not a Bad Guy. Not a Bad Guy came back to win after that start. And, you look at it and you just say, what version of what's your limits is going to show up? That's really the big question because you see those miscues scattered throughout his paper. That's the concern. He took on OSS grassroots competition last time out. Obviously going to like it much better in the prospect series. He's gone postward against that tougher tier 3 times this season. So I think he's in with a chance, but to me, a risky proposition at 2-1. I'm not a big fan of the price.
And then number 3 up front, BP. Louis Waugh picks up the catch drive. Now, Happy Holidays have been put up some numbers as a driver this year, but of course, Louis Waugh just a lot more starts, and Louis Waugh up front, BP. This one's interesting.
Yeah, definitely intriguing. Louis gets on any horse, I'm going to take notice. And this is one that I actually went back and watched the replay a few times in the last little while. I thought race may be better than advertised last time. I originally, from watching that race initially, I remembered kind of a second over journey and maybe didn't have that much pace. But no, he was actually still kind of fighting forward in the late stages. Home in 28-2, decent back half. Fourth in each of his last two, placed up the fourth two back. But before that, had a nice little run of, hitting the board in 3 of 4 to kick off his career. So I'd say he's the intriguing one right now. And if I was going to try to beat 5-star Lou, I might pivot to upfront BB.
And then Tommy Terror had 3 qualifiers. The most recent qualifier was only 12 seconds slower than that 49-1 qualifier earlier today.
Yeah, just a bit slower. I mean, but they were pretty decent all in all. I thought, third in his last two. Decent groups too. I mean, dancing in the fire last time out, got beat up by a wide margin to that one. That one's going to jump into the grassroots now after having success at the prospect series. So I think Tommy Terror is one that you want to maybe watch one time out, but maybe use in the bottom end of the try.
We can talk about Silver Walls, but we didn't talk about this one. I'm a Kitchener Rangers fan, big Kitchener Ranger fan. Dale Hunter is the owner of this one, so if we don't talk about it, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. I shouldn't say that, but big Kitchener Rangers fan, 9-1.
Yeah, I know Silver Walls. I've seen this one over at Sarnia, and you know what? I actually thought off that lifetime debut, disappointed as the favorite, but I thought raced pretty well from off the pace, and thought we might see more from this one in follow up efforts. Now, you got to remember in that race, those now there's a 2,500 lifetime. He's facing older horses, so I wouldn't put too much stock into it. And last time I thought race okay to be fifth, only beaten 3 lengths, and before that was a grassroots race. So be interesting to see how he does now, lower tier of the Ontario program, and in against a group that he should be more competitive with. He's 9-1. You can't miss him on the track, that's for sure. And I think that, again, one that I'm going to tap this time out, but just kind of see if he can be a little more competitive at this level.
And the London Knights treat my Kitchener Rangers the same way that the Kansas City Chiefs treat my Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
They
just doesn't end up well?
No, every year it's the same story. Look, I got to watch Buffalo go out to Kansas City and Kitchener bow out to London. One of these years it's going to change. But look, we got an interesting dash coming up here. And we're both on 5-star Lou. I'm in bad need of a win, even money right now. Taking up their positions, what's your limits? And Tommy Terror on the inside, up front BB in the center, to the outside 5-star Lou, and Silver Walls, field of 5 for the 6th race. field for the sixth race, turning towards the start. Field for race number 6. He is at the start of the rough, and what's your limits? And up front, BB, Tommy Terror, 5-star Lou. Silver Walls is back trailing the field, and it is what's your limits? And Brett McDonald, who's got a lead of about 5 lengths right now. Up front, BB second, Tommy Terror. 5-star Lou has just one beaten right now, and that's Silver Walls, but what's your limits? Enjoying Grand River Raceway, 7-2 on the lead for Brett McDonald. What's your limits? Leads it by about 3 right now. Up front, BP and Louis Bois racing second in behind Brett McDonald. And what's your limits as they race off that 27-3 opening quarter and head up towards the half? And then third is Tommy Trevor, 5-star Lou, Silver Walls, field of 5 in a line as they head their way up towards the half. And it is what's your limits? With a lead of a length and 3/4. And up front, BB is second, Tommy Terror third, 5-star Lou is fourth, and then Silver Walls as they work their way on down the backstretch. And what's your limits at 7-2? There goes 5-star Lou now, quickly looking to surge up in pounds. What's your limits? There goes 5-star Lou. Up front, BB, and now Silver Walls has gained a spot, and Tommy Terror is trailing the field. And now it is 5-star Lou who's bellied up to the bar and is challenging what's your limits. Silver Walls on the outside now has come on into contention and is about 2 off the lead, as is up front BB on the inside, and then Tommy Terror, 5-star Lou wanting to wear down what's your limits on the inside, who tries to hang tough, and it is 5-star Lou who's got a lead of about half a length, and what's your limits went off stride after being tested hard, and Silver Walls is skating sharply on down the stretch drive. Silver Walls is chasing 5-star Lou, 5-star Lou, Silver Walls, and on the inside up front BB, but it is 5-star Lou holding on. Up front, BB on the inside was a game second. Then Silver Walls and Tommy Terror. 5-star Lou had to be 5-star sharp coming to the finish because got tested late into the mile, Robert.
Did, and obviously the pace setter braking caused a little bit of confusion as well, but 5-star Lou ends up prevailing as the heavy favorite. And again, we thought that he raced really well last time at Georgian Downs and can certainly double up off that effort. But I also thought we saw a couple others step up with strong performance as well. Up front, BB probably was able to avoid that braking rival, but certainly probably got the worst of it there. Got impeded and had to go around that one before kind of charging up the inside late. And Silver Walls, right? Kind of thought we might see a better effort from him getting to face horses his own age, lower tier of the Ontario program, and he was kind of closing willingly in the stretch. I mean, never getting to the winner, but I thought it was a better effort and one that he can probably build on.
Yeah, we see him closing right there in the picture. The beaten, we're going to call that maybe a length and 3/4, I guess, but definitely up front BB is one we can keep an eye on now going into the future because that was a sharp effort.
Yeah, I think so. I think, the race may have been very different too if the pace setter kind of keeps 5-star Lou at bay just to the head of the stretch. That would have gave up front BB a chance to punch up the passing lane and maybe get the victory. The way it went, had to avoid that rival, and that was probably just enough for 5-star Lou to fend that one off. So it would have been interesting to see what would have happened otherwise, but we'll never know. And 5-star Lou though doubles up, and again one that should make some waves here in the Prospect Series, was facing tougher throughout his career, going into this effort, and now has 2 in a row.
It's a 4-3-5-2 top 4 in race number 6, a mile of 55-1. Back in front of us, number 4, 5-star Lou, a 2-year-old Dance and Lou Bay colt, owned by Landmark 17 Racing and Stephen Downey and Dan Mogridge and Asa Lottinen. Sean Stacy, the trainer, Travis Henry, the winning driver. Second win for 5-star Lou, 2 in a row. Mile of 155-1, new career mark. the sixth race, number 4, 5-star Lou, 290, 210, 210. 3 up front, BB, 250, 210. 5 silver walls, 250. $2 exactor, $570 try, $810 super, 2210. The sixth race over a finish from the top down to 54213. That's 54213.
Just 3 minutes to post two, race number 7 here at the river. So 4 dashes left on our program this evening. It's time for the late pick 4, low takeout 15%. There's a ticket that I've mapped out. Don't stray too far from my pick 5 wagers. And 6-9 to kick us off here. Do like Stony Burke on top. 10-1 morning line, but now bet down to 2-1. Goober Smack has been doing good things at this level. The problem is the trailing post for Goober Smack this evening, and I thought Stony Burke raced pretty well in the end of it last time. So we'll go with those two, but I do like Stony Burke on top here right now at 5-2. Race number 8, just the one, Cadabra Kaboom. I love the way this one raced last time. I was all over him at 6-1. Didn't miss by too much. The chip happened, and I thought was still inching in on that one at the wire. Could be graduation day for Cadabra Kaboom. 0 for 5 so far in his career, but did move nicely in the right direction with that second place finish last time out. 5, 6, and 7 in race number 9. Doc's Philly Cheese deserves the edge, I think, just because getting back to the river, where he was a winner in the top condition class 3 starts ago. A couple of tough trips in his last 2 at Mohawk Park. Has missed a bit of time, though, between efforts. Also using the 6, Hungry to Succeed, and the 7, Sea Laird. 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7 in the finale. Kind of a wide open looking event. I mean, Fox Scent, you can give the edge to that one, but other than that, maybe it could be a big price to close out the evening. $6 for a 20-cent ticket. We'll see Conley's ticket now real quick. Just a minute or so to be coming out on the track. 1, 2, 6, and 9 here. He did make Stony Burke his best bet last time out. So no surprise he's on the ticket. I thought he raced really well, actually, to be 5th in that dash. Just the one, Cadabra Kaboom, my best bet in race number 8, 5, 6, and race 9. So Doc's Philly Cheese and Hungry to Succeed on his ticket. And then just the 2, Smokestack in the finale, $1.60 for a 20-cent ticket for Conley. Very economical ticket in this late pick 4 sequence. They'll be coming on the track or so in a minute. And we'll come back, take a closer look at race number 7 after the post parade.
Field on post parade for the 7th one. JG's pal, Scott Young for Brian Lawrence and Stuart Lawrence. Number 2 is PL Quinella, Travis Henry for Matt Dupuis. 3 scratch for J. Richard Nice, Brett McDonald for Ron McDonald and Hartel Maintenance and Lorimer McClure. Number 5, scratch 6, Stony Burke, Sammy Fillion for Julie Walker, Nancy Holmes, and Yvonne Parmentier. 7 is All-Star Goldie, Daryl Thiessen for Steve Watson, All-Star Farms. 8 is Sue-Anne Louis Bois for Eric Nadeau and Maud LaRouche and Jean Allaire and Pierre-Luc Roy. And 9 is Goober Smack, Bruce Richardson for Suzanne Kerwood and SNR Racing. Field of just 7 with the scratches of 3 and 5. And although we're missing 2 horses, we're not missing a ton of talent because this is a very talented group. This is not an easy race to handicap. You went to Stony Brook. You're looking at 3-1 right now, Rob.
Yeah, I like Stony Brook quite a bit in here. Thought race tremendous last time. Got away last off the gate and closed out to be fifth, but really was moving well at the end of that mile and was at a huge pace disadvantage, obviously. And the thing about Stony Brook is that you had a break in stride 2 starts ago, so needed that flat line last time out, and now you get Sam Fillion aboard. So I think we're going to see this one handled much more aggressively this evening. 10-1 morning line. I knew we wouldn't get that. 5-2, a lot shorter than I expected, though. I thought we might get 5 or 6-1, but taking a lot of support right now.
And look, there are some nice talented ones in here, but Goober Smack, you got to look closely at this one because Goober Smack's really looked good.
Yeah, Goober Smack is one you can't ignore in here. I mean, obviously won each of his last 3 in this class since the trotting hopples went on. Was 6th in a gold event 2 starts ago. That was just bit off more than he could chew there. And then the thing is that the trailing post to me is the only reason why I'm going against him. I've been kind of riding his train in each of his last 2 victories. Tried to beat him in his first start with the trotting hopples on, but you've got to respect his chances. Now 5-2 is a bigger price than I expected on him, but it's obviously just a second tier, right? It's scaring people away. It's going to be harder for him to get into the race, and we've seen that kind of wreak havoc on horses at times in the meet. So I don't think it's impossible for him to win from there, obviously. And if he wins, will I be surprised? Absolutely not, because he's a quality racehorse. But he's going to likely have to, do a little more work in the middle stages this time around.
One thought I have is that with the couple scratches, the trailer post becomes slightly less, at least a bit less of a challenge because you got fewer horses to try to stick handle around.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, it really helps the chances of my top pick too, Stony Burke, right? Because he moves in a couple spots to the gate. He goes from post 6 to post 4. But you're right. I mean, the field shortens up a little bit, so it doesn't have to maybe navigate as much traffic, and you get to follow a good one too in JG's Pal. Now, the problem with JG's Pal is racing tremendous on a 4-race win streak, doing great things for trainer Brian Lawrence, but has missed time now between starts, almost a month after being scratched due to sickness. So what's the triple look for him tonight, even from the pole position? I'm not so sure. Either way, 8-5, now 3-2, I think is an overbet on that one.
And then one that's taking a lot of action, not shockingly, because 4 straight wins, JG's Pal. The one thing, though, you got to look at is scratch vet sick from that last start. So last race was August the 7th.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the main concern with him. I mean, if he's racing on a regular rotation, he's hard to go against in here, even though he's moving up in class. I mean, really, this whole race kind of comes down to those kind of scenarios, right? JG's Pal, we're going to knock him a little bit because he's missed time between starts after a vet scratch due to sickness. And then Goober Smack, we're knocking him because he's got the trailing post. And I mean, for me, Stony Burke just becomes a play because you get, Sam Fillion aboard this time around. You got a flat line to his credit. So to me, a lot of these plays are situational, and they might not be the direction I'd go in if it was an equal playing field. But tonight, here we are.
PL Goldie was also scratched out of that August 21st race that All-Star Goldie won. PL Canella, nothing wrong with the way that he's been racing.
Yeah, Pio Quinella is one that, again, you've missed a bit of time between starts after a scratch due to sickness. But before that, I mean, was chasing the likes of Goober Smack, Radical Legacy, and then MI Radical last time went first over against that one before having to settle for third. So was doing nothing wrong. I mean, just 2 for 23 on the year, but 11 on the board finishes. And this is not, a spot that's out of reach for him. It just comes down to trip scenario. And if he's fit enough, missing the time in between starts. So I think when you're using the exotics tonight at 13-1.
What do we make of J. Richard Nice? Because he romped up at Georgian Downs August the 3rd, was racing really well there, and then makes a break here, and last race gets post 8, so it's a more conservative effort. Is he maybe sitting on something and looming at 6-1?
Yeah, he's one that's kind of sneaky, I think, because you look at the paper further down the page, it's pretty solid. I mean, those races at Georgia and the victories against a pretty solid group, 57-2 over that service that we know wasn't all that fast at that point in the month of August. And before that, you see the second and the victory. So doing good things, for trainer Ron McDonald. But then the last 2, break in stride, then a difficult post. So this might J. Richard Nice, and you get a solid draw to do it from post 3 now. you could convince me he's value in here, and you're right. I think he's in with a sneaky chance, and I think he would really be a big bust out in the pick 5 and the pick 4.
And then, All-Star Goldie has made more than $2,000 a start this year and is 12 out of 22 in the top two. We talked about 5 horses in here, and not one of them at All-Star Goldie. And the 2 scratches make it post 5.
Yeah, you're right. She's probably saying, "Hey, what about me, guys?" Because 2 starts ago, winner in this class got up over no one, and that was a real impressive effort. I mean, kind of fought that one right to the wire before getting her head in front, 56-3 at 6-1. Had missed a lot of time, but before that start, so went off the bench, then came back to be second to Goober Smack, and I mean. It would have been post 7 consecutive starts, but it's actually just post 5, like you mentioned, Gary, and she's got really big speed off the gate. So she could be the one to catch again. And maybe Goober Smack, obviously, this time around the tougher trip, might not be able to get the measure of her. I mean, 8-1. I mean, she's getting overlooked here, and she probably doesn't deserve that. I guess you can't pick them all, though, right? I mean, we've talked about a lot of horses in this race, but it just kind of speaks to how deep this field is.
Absolutely deep, because the only one we didn't touch on is 8 Sue-Ann. And you do see form there, and in fact, you see a race with Sue-Ann, Goobersmack, and Pio Canella are the only 2 that beat Sue-Ann. And first we thought, well, it's post 8, but now it's post 6, and you got Louis Waugh.
Yeah, Louis Waugh, part owner too of this horse, and she, last year 2 for 7, 4 on the board finishes as a rookie. This year just 2 for 16. She equaled her win total, but she's had more than double the starts. But she's hit the board with frequency. One that's got big speed off the gate. I mean, I would have said for post 8 we wouldn't see it. We'll likely see some kind of tactical, speed off the switch this time around, though, from post 6. And Sue-Ann, I mean, not one without a chance, but I just think this field, top to bottom's pretty snug, and I don't know if she can get the measure of them, but she can certainly get a big piece of it.
Well, the only one that's really at this point not taking money is Pio Canella, and that's probably more a reference to the vet sick than the form, because the form is perfectly fine. So it is a field of 7 for race number 7 with a couple of scratches. Wizard Wally and Vimy Ridge Vent here out of the stash, so they are moving in behind the gate and taking up their positions. Rob is on number 6, Stony Burke at 2-1. And now I've got the other co-favorite at 2-1, Goober Smack from the trailer post as they're moving in. And it is post time for race number 7 on a Wednesday night at the River. Field 4, the 7th race with position J.G.'s pal, Pio Canella on the inside. J. Richard Nice and Stony Burke in the center. And to the outside, All-Star Goldie and Sue-Ann. And the second tier is Goober Smack. Field of 7, 7th dash. Wednesday night at Grand River Raceway. It is post time. Field 4, race number 7. In position. Field is at the start. And they're off, and J. Richard Nice, not nice early, made a break in stride. All-Star Goldie blasts right home. Sue-Ann is coming out quickly and is racing second. Then Stony Burke, J.G.'s pal. And then it is back to Goober Smack. And further back, Pio Canella and J. Richard Nice with that early break in stride. All-Star Goldie has got the lead at 5-1. All-Star Goldie and Daryl Thiessen leads it. And Sue-Ann at 20-1. Racing second. Stony Burke is third as they head up to the half of a 27-1 opening quarter. J.G.'s pal is racing position to 4th, and then it is Goober Smack following J.G.'s pal. Trailing pair, Pio Canella and J. Richard Nice. They head up towards the half with All-Star Goldie and Daryl Thiessen enjoying the view on the top, and Sue-Ann is right there close in the pocket. And Stony Burke is going to be coming first over. J.G.'s pal follows Stony Burke on the outside. Then Pio Canella is on the inside. Goober Smack and J. Richard Nice. In the field, races of a half of 57 and 3, a 30 and 2. Second panel breather for All Star Goldie. And Stony Burke on the outside have to try to wear down All Star Goldie. Sue Ann on the inside is third. JG's pal. Now Goober Smack is going to roll 3 wide. PL Canelo on the inside and J. Richard nice. All Star Goldie is still well on the lead. And it is All Star Goldie with a lead of a length. Stony Burke is second. Sue Ann's racing third. Goober Smack is out 3 wide and is getting closer now. Then JG's pal and PL Canella and J. Richard nice in the field turns for home. All-Star Goldie. Sue Ann looks for the passing lane. Stony Burke on down the stretch drive they come. All-Star Goldie and Stony Burke. All-Star Goldie, Stony Burke, and Stony Burke's going to come on by and win it. Then All-Star Goldie with JG's pal and Goober Smack 156 and 1. Stony Burke left it till late in the mile, but not too late, Robert.
Nice price too at 3-1. This was one that I pegged on X as my value play of the nights, and he's value at that. There's no doubt about it. At that price, he's certainly good value. And I thought he raced tremendous last time. I really did. I thought he raced really well from off the pace this time around. When he settled in third, I said, okay, he's going to be first up, and I'm okay with that. We know it's been a trip that's okay for horses that are well meant at the river. And I think that it was a strategic drive by Sam Fillion. I don't think he really wanted to go on the attack against All-Star Goldie earlier on the mile, because that might end up being something that takes them both out of it. And also, by kind of hanging around in the first over position, he kind of made a more difficult trip for Goober Smack, who was stacked up on cover. So we see that a lot this year, right? Horses kind of hang around first over, and then they forge to the lead in the stretch. And Stony Burke, one that I thought was sitting on a winning effort, does exactly that at a nice price.
Yeah, and All-Star Goldie, actually got that breather in the second panel and raced really well, so Stony Burke had to earn it also.
Oh, definitely did. All-Star Goldie, not an easy one to go past. We saw that last time Goober Smack. One with relative ease, but certainly didn't get past her till late in the mile, and she was really strong against no one in the late stages, 2 back. So Stony Burke earned it. I thought, this is one that we've seen kind of, dabble into the Gold Company, race okay in the grassroots, and now gets that heart-building win now. At a nice price, but also All-Star Goldie finishes second. Goober Smack, kind of difficult trip, right? Kind of stacked over on cover, ends up finishing fourth at 9-5.
Well, and you're right that it's more a thought of the trailer post, because that's more than anything what did in Goober Smack.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, situational plays. Stony Burke was exactly that for me tonight.
And he is back in the winner's circle. Stony Burke, a 3-year-old Muscle Mass Bay colt, owned by Julie Walker and Nancy Holmes and Yvonne Parmentier. Julie Walker, the trainer. Sammy Fillion, the winning driver. Third win for Stony Burke this season and lifetime. 156 and 1. Seventh race payout, 6 Stony Burke, $8.90, $5, $3.90, 7 All-Star Goldie, $5.80 and $2.80, and 1 JG's Pal, $2.80. $2 exactor, $51.80. $1 try, $113.60. $1 super, $619.10. Seventh race order finish from the top. 3-6 scratch, 7 scratch, 1-2, 5-4. That's 3-6 scratch, 7 scratch, 1-2, 5-4 on the bottom. Field for race number 8. On parade, 1, Cadabra Kaboom, Travis Gulliver, Jody Collin, and Tammy Aspin, and Murray Nielsen. Number 2 is Tamil Twister, Dave Boughton for Don Lindsay and Paul Lindsay. Number 3 is Alvin Money, Scott Kohler for Brian Wick and Donna Wick. Number 4 is Campari Hanover, Pat Houdan for Kerry King Shot. Number 5, Southwind Franz, Austin Sorry for Dominic Gladue and Francois Dupuis and Ron Kelly and Chantal Imond.
Seven's next.
Number 7, Move Your Mask, Jason Ryan for Bruce McDonald and Martin Stables. And number 6, Money All Day, Anthony Hunt for Sandy Lawrence. And there goes my pension stables. Field of 7, race number 8. Let's get a look at this field. And Cadabra Kaboom, well, off a second last time out. I see all the cappers are on. Cadabra Kaboom, 4-5.
Yeah, no surprise, Gary. 4-5 and Cadabra Kaboom. And, last time out, I kind of said it after the race. I said, that was the night to kind of try to, capitalize on a good price at 6-1. I thought race tremendous to be second, was third, kind of got pulled away from that pace setter. Chip happened throughout the mile there in the 3-hole. Then when coming forward late, was really, coming forward with vigor to be second, only beaten 3/4 of a length. And I kind of thought was warming up to that effort. Thought it raced really well 2 starts ago. Obviously the break and stride before that, so maybe we handled conservatively on August 14th. And right now we're going to see a bit of a score down anyways with Travis Cullen and Cadabra Kaboom. I think one that's sitting on a win, 4-5 right now. No surprise, this one is odds on. And again, my best bet of the night.
Yeah, and just a field of 7 gets that inside post. We might even see a bit of gate speed, although still a little bit conservative there.
Yeah, I think we'll likely be handled maybe a bit conservative off the gate because, he does have a break before. Pole position is not the best spot for a horse that, has made miscues, but, it looks pretty smooth out there right now, and I think won't be too far out of it in the early stages, and will likely get activated much sooner than mile this time around.
Number 2, Tamil Twister, an equipment change, blind rattle to blinkers, and boy, has been better the last couple races. In fact, that win at 14-1 2 races ago, and competitive last race.
Yeah, no, it was a good effort last time out to be third. Devil's Kiss was one that was just kind of a real strong winner on that occasion. Took support moving up in class tonight too. Pillow Thief was second. Can't really fault this one for being third to those two, and it was a winner over Gaming Queen. The camera shy at the time, Gaming Queen, who has since then come back to notch the first victory of her career. That's on August the 14th. So Tamil Twister, I think, is kind of the logical one to go to if you're not all that enamored by the favorite like I am. And I think one that we'll likely see be in the mix throughout, and we'll likely try to maybe make a race of it at the wire in the late stages.
Southwind Franz right now seems to be the consensus third choice on the board, and, well, why not? Back-to-back third-place finishes.
Yeah, Georgian Downs too, right? And again, we always talk about the times there, and you can kind of see it there too, how it kind of got a little bit better, later in August, 2:04 and 1 over a track that was 1 second off 2 back, then 2 minutes and 4 last time out. Both times led all the way into the stretch, and then it ended up rounding out the trifecta at long odds. So we know that front end speed is good here at the river. We might see this one. Might see her try to do the exact same thing again, and maybe she can go the distance this time out. She's had post 6 or worse at Georgian Downs in each of her last 4, and now you see her move in a spot to post 5 here, which we've seen success from on the trot here at the river. So Southwind Franz in with a chance, but again, I'm sticking with my top choice and best bet, Cadabra Kaboom.
I toyed with the idea of going to her on top because we saw this format with a couple of other horses that were tiring late in the mile at Georgian and then come in here, horses that had front end speed and not tire late. And so we'll see if that transfers, but 7-1 might be worth the flyer price. Number 6, Money All Day. Well, the last race, just, I guess, okay at best, but we'll see what Money All Day has to offer here.
Yeah, money all day. It's one that I kind of thought we'd see take a step forward. Sandy Lawrence had this horse now for a couple starts, and I've seen her have success with trotters in the past, and this is one that's been sixth in each of her first two for that barn, and now you see there's not much support this time around. So 11-1 first time, 70-1 the follow up try this time, 20-1. I think you can use this one in the bottom end of the try and super in here. I certainly think she's more than good enough to make her way somewhere on the ticket. And I think she's an overlay right now at 20-1 if you want to take a flyer. I mean, obviously, I'm all in on Cadabra Kaboom, but there's no fun in betting an even money shot.
Number 4, Campari Hanover, 2 races ago, actually put in a solid effort until just very late in the mile, and overall was a good effort. Then last race, just not that big a factor. Maybe Campari Hanover, your buddy Pat, can come back and be a factor, at least maybe to sneak onto the ticket here.
Yeah, it's picked up a lot of prizes, this mare. And she got that win at Hanover back on June 22nd. So, I mean, I think Campari Hanover is one that you can use in the bottom end of the exotics, but, I'd be kind of surprised if she got the lion's share of it. I think there's some, obviously some better chances we've talked about to get that part of it. But Campari Hanover, one that's shown some tactical speed in the past. Got to win the 2-hole 2 back and faded back to 5th in a race won by Time Twister, who's 2-1 in here. And maybe she can stick around a little more deeper into the mile if she gets forwardly placed again. I mean, I think that's got to be the game plan tonight. At least maintain her position, getting away 4th at worst off the gate. And maybe, pick up, a decent chunk.
And a horse we stayed away from, but there could be a reason that we might regret it later, is number 7, Move Your Mass. 2 breaks in the past 3, but what about that race that he didn't make a break?
It's true. I mean, we see a lot of young trotters like that, right? Young trotters will, sometimes are boomer busts, and that's what Move Your Mass is. Now, uttermost post in the contest, off a break, have to think, top priorities get a flat line. That win, though, 2 back was obviously a good one, won by 6 lengths in 2 minutes and 4, and kind of controlled things for much of the mile, and even fended one off that came to call, on the last turn. So, again, last time out, made that miscue. Got to think top priorities to stay flat tonight, but two things have to happen. I think forwardly placed and stay on his gate.
Yeah, and then also, he is a 2-year-old muscle mass colt that's a $49,000 yearling, so he's flashed in spots if he can stay flat. He does have ability.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, you're obviously meant for better things, right? As a $49,000 yearling, and we've already seen a glimpse of what he can do. I mean, even that back half on that occasion, 58-4 was pretty solid. Again, risky proposition though, right? I mean, that's why you're getting 11-1 on him. Outermost post in the contest, taking on older rivals, and into it with breaks in 2 of his last 3.
Well, it is a field of 7 for race number 8, and they are turning in behind the gate as you see the flashing lights are on, and it's 7 trotters. Rob and I are both on Cadabra Kaboom. That's where the money is going with the fans at even money on the board. Cadabra Kaboom will be on the inside with Timel Twister. In the center, Alvin Money, Campari Hanover, Southwind Franz. And to the outside, Money All Day. And Move Your Mass. Field of 7, 8th dash. It's post time. Field for race number 8. Turning into the backstretch, gathering speed, approaching the start. 8th race on a Wednesday night at the river. Money All Day is well back as the field is heading towards the start. And the field for race number 8 is at the start of the rough. And Timel Twister will leave out well, but quickest of all is Southwind Franz right now. And then also driving on the outside as the field heads around the turn is Move Your Mass. And Move Your Mass was able to move right out at 17-1 and get the lead. Southwind Franz second, Tumble Twister third. Kadabra Kaboom relaxed away early at fourth, and then Campari Hanover and Alvin Money. And Money All Day was well back at the start. Now he's moved up to trail the field. And now stepping out, here comes Tumble Twister, who wants to storm up against Move Your Mass. Tumble Twister and Dave Frankie Boughton is going to whistle on by now and take the lead. Move Your Mass is racing second. Southwind Franz is third. Then it is Kadabra Kaboom and Campari Hanover for the back, Alvin Money, and then Money All Day. 29-2 opening quarter. Tumble Twister 3-2 on the boards, got the lead. The advantage is a couple of lengths. Move Your Mass is racing second. Southwind Franz third, and Kadabra Kaboom is on the outside now and is starting to forge up first over off a half of 59-3. A 30-1 second panel breather picked up by Tumble Twister though. Kadabra Kaboom is up to challenge. Move Your Mass is racing third. Southwind Franz is fourth. Campari Hanover fifth, and then Alvin Money. And the field works their way on around that final turn. And 3/4 put up by Tumble Twister in 129-4. Tumble Twister, Kadabra Kaboom. Move Your Mass is still holding on to third. Then Southwind Franz and Campari Hanover. Tumble Twister, Kadabra Kaboom. Tumble Twister and Dave Frankie Boughton still has the lead as they come on down the stretch ride. Tumble Twister as they come to the finish. Tumble Twister is going to win it. Kadabra Kaboom second. Then Move Your Mass and Southwind Franz 159-2. Tumble Twister got good 3 races ago and now has 2 wins in the past 3 starts, Robert.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you know what? I love Kadabra Kaboom tonight, but Dave Boughton made the winning move, right? Going to the lead early in the mile, got the jump on that one, and then with the way that Tumble Twister's been racing, I mean, certainly should be feeling good about himself after winning 2 starts ago and a solid third last time. Kind of just swelled up on the engine and wouldn't let Kadabra Kaboom go by, and missing that week between starts too may have been a bit of the difference because this one's racing on regular rotation, whereas Kadabra Kaboom missed that start between efforts. And I thought still raced okay to be second, but was never getting to Tumble Twister tonight. Just better horse tonight, and one that's kind of been moving in the right direction for Don Lindsay.
And one we can probably continue to have some thoughts about now is Move Your Mass, because got off the gate well, as you saw that one did in that win August the 21st, and did stick around for third and was still digging coming to the finish.
Yeah, I thought, right off the gate, I said, oh, this is going to be a problem, right? Because getting away cleanly and getting away with the lead, I mean, I thought maybe we might see that one be able to go all the way on the engine. Again, 2-year-old against older horses, I mean, still learning the ropes, and even though you do blast out of there, you still want to certainly make sure he stays on the trot. Well, he did that tonight, and I thought he raced really well to be third. So he's one to watch next time, especially if he gets to race against a horse his own age.
And actually, Tumble Twister made the equipment change blind brought to the blinker, so the equipment didn't hurt.
No, it didn't hurt at all. I mean, looks like a horse that was pretty happy to be handled aggressively tonight, right? I mean, he made the move to the lead in the early stages, and then was good to go from there. So obviously that probably that equipment change certainly lent itself to that kind of trip scenario, and ends up upsetting the favorite at 3-2. I mean, this pick 5 could be okay because we see a couple of favorites go down. No big monstrous price winners, but we do have favorites getting beat.
Yeah, we both saw this race as 1-2. Well, we had the right idea, but we had it backwards.
Yeah, that's kind of been much of tonight. There's Stony Burke for me. Much of tonight's been kind of having things a little bit backwards. But hey, you know what? We just try to trudge on, right, and turn the page.
It's a 2-1-7-5. Back in front of us is number 2, Tumble Twister. The winning drive by Dave Frankie Boughton. Tumble Twister, 3-year-old muscle mass bay gelding up by Paul Lindsay, trained by Don Lindsay. It's the second win for Tumble Twister in 3 starts and lifetime. 159-2. Eighth race payouts, two-time twister, $5, 240, 241. Cadabra Kaboom, 240, 247. Move your mass, $4.90. $2 exactor, $8.90. Dollar Tribe, $28.10. Dollar Super, $58.75. Eighth race, order finish from the top, 2165473. That's 2165473 on the bottom. Field for the ninth race on parade. 1 and 2 are scratched. 3 is Captain Butler, Scott Colder, Nick Liatis. Number 4 is Sporty Bob, Sammy Filia for Robert Kyle Fellows and M&S Racing. 5 is Doc's Philly Cheese, Garrett Rooney for Brittany Kennedy and Money Clip Racing. Number 6, Hungry to Succeed, Travis Henry for Greg McNair and Bradley Grant. And number 7 is Sea Laird, Austin Sorry for Rick Ziron and Stacy Smith Robinson. Field of 5 with the scratches of 1 and 2. Let's get a look at this field, and we're going to start with number 5, Doc's Philly Cheese, and this is Robert's top pick and mine as well. No, Robert's not here for the rest of the card. Something has come up in Doc's Philly Cheese. My top choice is one that has 6 wins on the year, 9 wins last year, and one that did win here. The last time we saw this one here was in a class that's actually a bit tougher than this one. Beat the likes of Artie's Ideal and Ideal Perception, so that's a huge measuring stick because they are really outstanding. Doc's Philly Cheese, if you look at the last 2 starts here, that win, and then also a second to Ideal Perception, beaten just 3/4 of a length. And in fact, before that, raced Canada Day at Dresden and won by 10 1/4 lengths. So Doc's Philly Cheese should enjoy getting away from Mohawk. Had one good start, and in fact, last race was racing well at Mohawk until late into the mile, and finished 6th, but beaten only a length 3/4, mile of 52. So a little better than it actually looks when you just take a first glance at it and see 6th, but got off the gate, went really well, a long way. Doc's Philly Cheese, Garrett Rooney for Brittany Kennedy, and both Garrett and Brittany having big years. Garrett Rooney, 373 driving average, and Brittany Kennedy, 318 on the train, so very strong connections, 6-5. Number 6, Hungry to Succeed. Well, one that was able to score the win here last time out. First win for the year and had 3 wins last year. Hungry to Succeed. Raced on the outside and battled really hard, just kept on digging. And it was a very honest mile of 51 and 2. Now, the track certainly has been yielding some quick times, but Hungry to Succeed did a lot of good work in that one and clearly is getting the second choice status right now. I suspect they'll stay there. I do think Doc's Philly Cheese is going to wind up being the betting favorite. Is 3-2 on the board right now. Hungry to Succeed, though, at 8-5 is not far behind in the pari-mutuels, and it's Travis Henry, Greg McNair, also both having 300-plus seasons. Travis Henry, just outstanding, and Greg McNair always puts up strong numbers. Number 4, Sporty Bob, one that was extremely sporty here for a number of starts. Now, the last 2 races, one here and one at Georgian, has kind of fallen off a little bit. But look, one of them was on post position 7 on a track that was off his second, and in that other race suffered interference at Georgian Downs and did drop out of it. So really, Sporty Bob is one that has a lot of argument that could drop back. Sammy Filia, Robert Kyle Fellows, also strong connection. So each of our top 3 horses have top drivers, top trainers, all 300 plus on both sides of the equation. And Sporty Bob is one that can get off the gate. In fact, can really be strong early. And now, instead of post 4, has post position 2. And I don't think there's speed to his inside. We'll see if I'm wrong about that. But Sporty Bob just might have a chance at stealing this one off the lead. And the price at 7-1. It's kind of enticing. Sporty Bob, Sammy Filia, 4 wins in the year on 16 starts. So overall, Sporty Bob might be worth taking that flyer on. We'll look at number 3, Captain Butler. Look, the Butler did it at Georgian Downs August the 20th. Scotty Coulter is driving here. That was Brent McDonald. But Captain Butler, then last time out here, just was way too far back early, but look closer at the line, was 14 lengths back at the quarter, and yet was beaten only 2. And really, that was a big mile, 51-4 from so far back. And that's the race that Hungry to Succeed won, but was beaten only 2 by him after being way back, 14 lengths back. And also, in that race, 2 starts ago at Georgian Downs, was more than 10 back at the quarter and came on to win. So Captain Butler is one that could do it as well. 7-1. This is a pretty nice field. Captain Butler, Scotty Coulter, and Nicoliadis is 7-1. The Tan Tornado gets to start from the inside. We'll see if he turns things around in terms of gate speed, because has not been leaving at all. And the other one in this dash is number 7, C. Laird. And C. Laird is one that, well, if we had last year's version of C. Laird in this class, we'd be really afraid of C. Laird in here. This year hasn't been quite as good. Was okay up at Georgian Downs, only 2 races ago, finishing second in a solid condition class. The start before that beat up a bottom condition. Then last race moved up against really a tougher company and was 6th beaten 2.5. But C. Laird did a lot of work in that one from off the pace. And if last year C. Laird shows up here, then 10-1 is a real huge value play. It's a field of 5 for race number 9 with the scratches of 1 and 2. Right now the favorite is 5, Doc's Philly Cheese, my top pick, and Robert's top pick as well. Going to post shortly. Gate is rolling for race number 9. Captain Butler, Sporty Bob on the inside. In the center, Doc's Philly Cheese. Into the outside, Hungry to Succeed, and C. Laird. It's a field of 5 for the 9th dash. On a Wednesday night at Grand River Raceway, they're approaching the start. And the field is at the start of the rough. And Doc's Philly Cheese leaves with Hungry to Succeed. And Sporty Bob on the inside is driving hard. But Doc's Philly Cheese and Sporty Bob on the inside is going to yield now. Doc's Philly Cheese continues on. Doc's Philly Cheese is going to be racing on the lead. Then Sporty Bob in the pocket. Hungry to Succeed is third. Captain Butler and C. Laird, and they work their way off the turn. Doc's Philly Cheese, even money on the boards, got the lead. 27 the opening quarter. Doc's Philly Cheese, Sporty Bob, Hungry to Succeed. Then fourth is Captain Butler, and C. Laird is trailing the field. Doc's Philly Cheese and Garrett Rooney leads the charge up towards the half of a 27 quarter, and in this compact field of five, Doc's Philly Cheese looks to pick up a second pedal breather, and Sporty Bob is right there sporting a sharp look in the pocket. Hungry to Succeed is hungry and is moved out and is closing ground, and then it is Captain Butler to the outside, and C. Laird 55-2, strong half. Doc's Philly Cheese and Hungry to Succeed coming after Doc's Philly Cheese, and then Sporty Bob, Captain Butler, and C. Laird. Doc's Philly Cheese now the lead down to just a neck. Hungry to Succeed on the outside is trying to grind and wear down Doc's Philly Cheese, and Sporty Bob on the inside is right there in the pocket. Captain Butler's only a length and 3/4 off the lead on the outside, second over, and then racing, trailing C. Laird about 4.5 from the front. Doc's Philly Cheese, Hungry to Succeed, is giving Doc's Philly Cheese all that one wants as they turn for home. Doc's Philly Cheese and Hungry to Succeed up the inside, Sporty Bob, but it is going to be Hungry to Succeed driving on and munching up ground at the finish to win. Captain Butler second, Doc's Philly Cheese third, and C. Laird was fourth. 152-2. Hungry to Succeed. Coming back in front of us, the winner of race 9, number 6, Hungry to Succeed. 4-year-old Stay Hungry, Bay Gelding, owned by Bradley Grant of Milton. Greg McNair is the trainer. Travis Henry, the winning driver. Second win this year. Fifth win lifetime. Hungry to Succeed. 152-2. Ninth race payout, 6 Hungry to Succeed. 590, 370, 263. Captain Butler, 750, 310. 5 Dogs Philly Cheese, 210. $2 Exactor, 36.60. Dollar Try, 36.40. Dollar Super, 56.75. Ninth race order finish from the top is double scratch 25314. That's double scratch 25314 on the bottom. Field for race number 10 is on parade. One is Holy Jalapeno, Brett McDonough for Ken Skinner. Number 2, Smokestack, Colin Kelly for Brett Lester and Michelle Attard. Number 3 is Highland Hot Sauce, Daryl Thiessen for Michelle Bowen. Number 4 is Buckin' Better, Jason Ryan for Amanda Fine and Scott and Lisa Henry.
Stay with the 6 is next.
Number 6, Nova Scotia Strong, Tyler Moore drives the range for James Bagnell and Archie Hattie and Gordy Rudolph. Number 7, Ham Sandwich, Steve Hudon for Laura Toscani. And number 8 is Beach and Lindy, Steve Charlton drives and trains and owns. 9 is Dalhousie, Anthony Hahn for Jim Kerr and Jack Ramage. And note that absent from the parade, and now joining us is number 5, Fox Hunt, Austin Sorry for Terry McKibben and Paul Batter. It's a field of 9, race number 5. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, we'll go to my top choice here. And one that Robert does not have as one of his top 5, so we clearly have a difference of opinion in here. But I went to Buckin' Better, who is getting action, 9-2 on the board. One that raced well at Kawartha to beat up a bottom condition class that is similar to this one, although I think this one's much deeper, but still overall the condition reading a bottom level condition that's similar. And Buckin' Better last race tried tougher at Georgian Downs and raced reasonably well, suffered interference, but still was 4th and 54. Buck and Better is sent up by Amanda Fine. This is the 3rd start for Amanda Fine with Buckin' Better. Jason Ryan's been driving well. I just think Buckin' Better could be a bit of a sleeper in here. I thought I'd take a flyer. I don't expect this one to be the favorite. 5-1 is a 6-1 morning line, so maybe that's about the right price. But I took a flyer against the one that Rob has on top with his, which is Fox Hunt. My second choice, though, Highland Hot Sauce, is one I would love to get down at a price. Now, the reason why you're getting that price is, well, the last start for this one was July the 19th. But look at Highland Hot Sauce also is one that fits very well. If you look further down the page, you see some of the action that Highland Hot Sauce has been in. And look, you see a second in a non-winners at 3 at Grand River here. 52-1. That kind of speed would really translate well with this group. And did qualify at Mohawk last race, August the 30th, a last qualifier, and had a good back half, 55-1 back half. So maybe Highland Hot Sauce is ready to go despite being off. That was really a pretty sharp qualifier. Daryl Thiessen, Michelle Bowen, one that's got 6 top 2 finishes and 15 starts this year. Highland Hot Sauce is a bit of a sleeper play, but I think is much better than the 20-1 on the tote board suggests. Now, the one that Rob went on top with in my third choice is 5, Fox Hunt. And look, Fox Hunt did race better last race. Had a tough outing from post 8 at Georgian Downs 2 races ago, although at least closed well. But then you go further down the page, and you do see Fox Hunt with some good times. But look at last year. This is one that scored a win at Mohawk in 50-2 and had 3 wins last year. Overall, Fox Hunt is one that compares really well. Is one that's meant to be a nice one, a $75,000 yearling purchase. He is a 5-year-old now, and Fox Hunt is one that's made $123,000. So certainly there's been some strong earnings. Austin, sorry for Terry McKibben. But I don't like 9-5 on Fox Hunt. I thought this one would take a fair amount of action in this class, and I opted to go elsewhere. I went with 4 Buckin' Better at 6-1 and Highland Hot Sauce at 17-1 before I got to Fox Hunt, who is now 9-5, the favorite. A couple of others to get a look at. How about number 2, Smokestack, who's 7-1? That is Rob's second choice after Fox Hunt. And Smokestack last raced at Georgian Downs and tired out badly in the late going on an off track. And is one that just needed a flat line because he made a break here 2 starts ago. was in a class above this one. This should be an indication. Was a class above this one, and yet was 4-1 on the board above this class. You go back to the last 2 times this one raced in this class, third beaten half a length and second beaten a length and 3/4. And Smokestack, those were both from favorable posts. I would have to assume that Smokestack is one that's got to be used somewhere on the ticket. In fact, I probably have this one too far down at 4th. Rob's probably closer to being right at 2nd. 7-1's a real nice value. I would like that over his top choice of Fox Hunt. And I suspect that maybe he might even be leaning that way if he was here to bet. And one more is number 7, Ham Sandwich, if that one pops up on the screen, only because it is Rob's third choice. I left this one off, but Ham Sandwich is one that I've loved in the past. He comes in off of a couple of starts at Mohawk that didn't go well, but the last time we saw this one here, in a non-winners of 5,000 last 3, that's a much tougher class. He was beaten only 2 1/4, and that was from the trailing post. Ham Sandwich, he could be dangerous in here. The last time that Ham Sandwich raced in this class, well, let's just check it out. Winner Gagnon, June the 26th. So Ham Sandwich is one that just might muster up a serious threat here. Ham Sandwich and Steve Houdon is 5-1 on the board. And we might as well get also to Robert's 5th choice in here, because he did go 5 deep and Landis Nova Scotia Strong. There's only one thing that scares me about Nova Scotia Strong. Hasn't raced since August the 2nd. Scratched from the last scheduled start, vet sick. But also, this is one that has to be a consideration at this level. Was racing above this class. The last time at this level was beaten just a length and 1/4, finishing 3rd at Georgian Downs. So Nova Scotia Strong, if he happened to be strong and was healthy and fit and ready to go, then Nova Scotia Strong at 35-1 would be a huge play. But obviously that price is because he hasn't raced in more than a month and was off vet sick. But it's a field of 9, race number 10, and they're moving in behind the gate, the 10th and final dash. Gate is rolling for the 10th. Holy Jalapeno. Smokestack, Highland Hot Sauce on the inside. Buck and Better, Fox Hunt in the center. Nova Scotia Strong, Ham Sandwich, Beach and Lindy. And the second tier, Dalhousie. Field for the 10th race. He's at the start of the rough, and Buck and Better comes blasting out. Buck and Better is leaving along with Highland Hot Sauce, and on the outside, Fox Hunt. It is Fox Hunt, 4-5 favorite, hunting for the lead. Buck and Better, and then Highland Hot Sauce and Holy Jalapeno and Smokestack, and then it is back to Dalhousie and Ham Sandwich and Nova Scotia Strong, and Beach and Lindy is trailing the field. Fox Hunt, 4-5 on the board's got the lead. Buck and Better at 9-1's racing position second. Highland Hot Sauce is third as the field comes on towards us, and Holy Jalapeno is racing fourth in front of Smokestack, who took to the outside first up fifth. Then Dalhousie and Ham Sandwich, and back to Nova Scotia Strong and Beach and Lindy. It is Fox Hunt, the 4-5 favorite, who's got the lead. Buck and Better at 9-1 is racing position second. And now Smokestack on the outside has come on and is moved up. Smokestack has come on and taken over second. Buck and Better third to the inside. Holy Jalapeno now is racing on the outside fourth, and Highland Hot Sauce on the inside sharing fourth. Ham Sandwich is kicked in to take over sixth and then drops right back and has hooked up with Dalhousie, and then it is back to Nova Scotia Strong and Beach and Lindy, and Smokestack has come on to grab the lead from Fox Hunt, who's trying to fight back. It is Smokestack who's leading it by a length, but Foxhunt hasn't thrown in the towel. Here comes Holy Jalapeno. Holy Jalapeno. And then also now digging Highland Hot Sauce. And on the inside, Bucking better in the field, turns for home. Smokestack and Foxhunt on down the stretch where they come. Smokestack has the late lead. Foxhunt is game and fighting, and Bucking better up the inside. But it's going to be Smokestack smoking it finish to win it. Then Foxhunt, Holy Jalapeno, and then Bucking better in Highland Hot Sauce. 152 flat. Smokestack smoked him in the 10th. On the board, we have a 25143. Back in front of us, number 2 Smokestack, a 5-year-old Sweet Lou Bay gelding, owned by Michelle Hart and Brett Lester. Brett Lester, the trainer. Colin Kelly, the winning driver. 7th win on the year for Smokestack. Victorious in 152 flat. Tenth race, payouts number 2, Smokestack. 1660, 490, 350. 5 Foxhunt, 260, 260. 1 Holy Jalapeno, 360. $2 exact or $60 dollar tries, 78.25. Double of 6 and 2, 50.80. Dollar pick 3, 50.75. Dollar pick 4, 377.35. Dollar pick 5, 963.85. And the dollar high 5, 697.60. The 10th race order finished from the top down, 315-429-876. That's 315-429-876 on the bottom. Fans, that concludes the live harness racing program for this Wednesday evening. Action resumes on Friday, first race, 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, everybody. Good night, John.